Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits here at the Recycle Garage in wet and rainy Northern California, Santa Cruz. Hey, this is Naked Jim here, bringing it in heavy to rock out the end of the year. Liza, who do we have with us tonight?
I'm just stunned. You did that so well. I was like the morning crew on
That's exactly what I was thinking.
FM.
Hey, if you're going to do it, you may as well jump in with both feet. You may as well jump in with two front wheels.
There you go. Hey, everyone. This is Liza, and I'm feeling good.
You look good.
I'm feeling good.
You look Parisian.
Parisian?
Yeah, we'll get to
What does that mean?
And, of course, running the board, it's Stumpy John.
What's up, party people? In the hizzle for shizzle.
There you go.
There you go.
And, of course, that was the dulcet tones of Jim, Naked Jim. And we're missing a bunch of people.
That was John.
Because it is the season for people to be getting sick.
For upper respiratory illnesses.
So, unfortunately, Bagel and Emma backed out today. Not feeling up to it.
Womp womp.
Yeah, I'm sad to
worries.
hear that. I'm going to have to message Emma after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope everyone's okay. But
Yeah.
it is the season. And it was raining today. Oh, yeah. So,
And sunny at the same time. Did you catch that when it was pouring rain? Then the sun
Yeah,
came
all of a
out?
sudden it was like beautiful.
And raining.
And then it started raining again.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
it didn't stop some people from showing up. Charlie showed up in the pouring rain. So, but no, I spent a couple hours by myself and got some cleaning done. So
What
I
were
felt
you
good
doing?
about that.
You were like rubbing down a seat when I swung by or something. You're pitter-pattering.
I don't want to talk about
pitter-pattering
You're rubbing
around.
the seat
that.
down?
I don't want to talk about. No, my KTM got kicked out of the garage to make room for all that gear that came in, and it's just getting dirty out in the tent, and so it's just dirty. That's all.
Right.
It made me sad, so I'm giving it some love, and I only got so far as cleaning the seat.
Yeah, well, it's winterize your time bike.
Yeah,
Winterize your bike time.
But, it may be kind of raining and crappy today, but boy, yesterday it was perfect riding weather. And so might as well start out with our ride report. Jim and Tad and I went for a ride, and it was kind of interesting because we had similar bikes.
They were all blue.
Yeah. So I took out the Niken, and then Tad was on his Tracer GT, which is the Niken minus one wheel, basically. And then Jim was on his, full
Suzuki GSXS 1000 GT.
So we're all on GTs.
Yeah, it's true. All sport touring.
That's interesting, the common thread.
Yeah.
And they're all GTs, sport touring bikes. And they're all like the same, like dark blue. All good looking bikes too.
Yeah.
And even when we started off, Jim and I were on comms, and I'm like, can you imagine like a few years ago when we were all working on our crappy old bikes, three of us be setting out on these like nice bikes with all the electronics and
You
everything.
guys adulting.
Yeah, pretty much.
There was a theme to the maturity of motorcycling, I think, throughout our day, actually.
Exactly. And, we set out for a nice, easy ride, and we are blessed. We talk often about the roads we have available in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and to make it as easy as possible, we did basically a straight shot up Highway 9, which is nice twists through the redwoods, goes way up there, all the way to Skyline Boulevard, which then you get, you take that, it's a faster road. You get the car clubs. We saw lots of Porsches, lots of, what were the Ducatis we kept seeing?
Multistradas.
Lots of Multistradas.
Yeah.
Wow. Why?
I don't know.
People there's money around here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Did a little pit stop at Alice's restaurant, which was...
How many people gathered around the Niken at Alice's?
Well, and I told him, he's like, let me stop and get a drink. I'm like, oh no.
Well, I just want to drink some water.
I know. It's like,
But as we're rolling in, Liza's like, how long do you think it's going to be before some old dude walks up and starts asking me about the bike. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, whatever. We park, and it had to be about 13 seconds.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And the
before
guy's
the
like,
helmet's off.
hey, I can see one in person, kind of a thing. So I think that was striking. There was immediate curiosity. And it was genuine, and like people were digging it. I think the biggest thing is people hadn't seen them in real life.
Yeah, they haven't seen one in the wild. I mean, yeah, they're kind
And
of
that
rare.
little Japanese guy hopped right on it.
Yeah.
He was digging it.
But they said the same thing about your bike too. Hadn't seen one of those in the wild yet.
I know, right? We went from crappy old bikes to they talk about our bikes at Alice's.
I know.
But then you go up there, every bike you can talk about. We saw a CB 750 came in that was great. We saw a water buffalo.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was
Yeah.
looked. I mean, from where we were at, like super clean. Someone rode it in. So there's a lot of bikes to look at when you stop.
And this
at
was just,
Alice's.
the overflow parking lot. This isn't even Alice's parking lot. So that was a nice pit stop.
Yeah, it's a nice vibe too. I tell you.
Hopefully, new listener Nathan
Yeah, I met a cool dude who
on his K1600.
nice collection of BMWs in the stable.
Yeah,
He enjoyed telling us about his 650cc scooter
yeah.
that he
The
rips through the
BMW.
mountains
Yeah, the
and
Maxes,
passes guys on sport bikes. I'm like, I don't doubt it.
But just a nice ride, and none of us like needing to like go fast. Like we'd get behind cars sometimes. Not frustrated, just like it was one of those beautiful days where you're just
I mean, the weather was freaking incredible. this year.
just enjoying. I told Jim, so but shout out to Scott Nelson, who should be coming joining us soon. He gave us some Christmas candy the other day.
Oh God, that box was.
Yeah, that was great.
And I didn't have any food for breakfast yesterday, so I ate the last of the candy. So by
That's
the time
why you're amped up.
by the time Jim and I were taking off, I'm like, so I'm not feeling quite well.
I was kind of
I'm
there
feeling
with
a
you.
little ooky. But you know what? As soon as I got on the bike, like it all goes away.
Yeah,
Like
it was.
everything's right.
Yeah, because the night before I was a little woozy in the morning too because we
Yeah.
went. The old punk band X played at the Rio Theater, so we went. And
Oh, did you go?
Yeah, so we checked
fun.
it out. However, across the street at the Crepe Place, which is this small little venue in town, iconic in its own way, I guess, there was an even better punk band. So
Who's
we
that?
bounced back and forth between X and this.
Wait. A punk band at a crepe place?
Yeah, you know the Crepe Place down on Seabright?
Yeah.
So it's like it's a bar, restaurant. They have all this cool outdoor scene, but at nighttime they'll shut it down and do music.
Oh, okay. I was
So it was
wondering what the
actually
Sex
bitching.
Pistols would think about, doing stuff at a crepe place.
Yeah, no, it was ripping. So yeah, we had kind of late night Friday, and I knew the best thing for me, a little bit hungover, was to hop on the bike and air it out, and it sure was. Especially coming down the coast. We had a great lunch.
Yeah. So just one of those rides where like just it felt good. Like I could feel the endorphins just 110%. Just feels good. All the bikes were riding well, and
Yeah,
we
we
were doing
traded, yeah.
doing some bike swapping. So I rode the Tracer to see how it compared, and Tad rode the Nikon, which I think he liked.
He did. He had a great curiosity about it.
Because, yeah, he sent me an article this morning. He's like, oh, here's an article, a review on it.
Well, it's interesting. We were talking about, I think you and I just earlier, about how we all kind of personalize our bikes at this point in very kind of specific and particular ways on things we like. It could be heated gear, it could be grips, it could be a windscreen, whatever. And as you and Tad were trading back and forth between bikes, all the little tweaks that had to happen or things to know about the other person's bike. Tad's like, oh, I changed the gearing in the front and the rear. And anyway, it was pretty fun trading bikes.
Yeah, and I'll just jump into that right now. We were having this conversation. I said, I'm at this age in my life where there are certain creature comforts on a motorcycle and in my gear that like I have to have, like full stop. Like all my bikes will have a power outlet, a phone mount, hand guards, an extended windshield, and some sort of luggage capacity of some type.
Couldn't you mount an iPad so you can watch movies?
Oh,
I'm surprised you
I
haven't
would
come
like
up
to.
with that. Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, did I say heated grips? Like, I've just realized, like, these are all the things I need. And it doesn't matter if it's the dirt bike, a touring bike, except Jim won't let me put all the things on the Scrambler.
Well, it's a
just leave it alone.
It's a retro-looking British bike, but she already put the Bing Bang handguards on it, so now do whatever you want to it. Bastardize it at will.
But yeah, on the Nikon, last week I added the handguards, and then my latest shipment from AliExpress came in, and it was the rear case mounting plate that is unobtainium. I could not find anywhere through Yamaha, eBay, anywhere. they have one on AliExpress that strangely, I don't know how many bikes that fits, but it's made to fit the Yamaha top case.
I didn't think to look at Tad's bike. Did he have a similar tail?
No,
bag
his was a little
setup?
bit different.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I did look at that too. So it's like specifically like the Nikon mounting plate for the Yamaha. It was very weird that they would have it, but they did. It worked. Bolted it on. Got a nice big top case. I now have all the things that I need. But yeah, the hand guards.
You exceeded the speed tolerances on it, so we did put it through a stress test.
But you're kind of the same. Like you're wanting to add hand guards. Like
well, I was
you learn
say,
the little things.
Yeah, and it's been interesting since I got the Suzuki. I've been very particular about modifying it as little as possible. So the only things I think I put the Suzuki OEM touring windscreen on it. And I just put the Suzuki OEM heated grips on it, which are nice and clean.
Yeah.
And that's it. But what I am going to add, and I think this has become one of my kind of must-haves, are hand guards. And the reason being is the weather. In the mornings I ride, and it's chilly, and like all of us know, if you have heated grips, the inside of your hands are hot, the outside get cold. And on the bikes I do have hand guards, your hands are so much warmer. So all I'm looking for, I got some Moose Racing ones. They're the open-ended dirt bike hand guards. So super streamlined. And shout out to Doug at Santa Clara Cycle. He helped me kind of pick out some that we thought would kind of fit in there. So I haven't put them on. I was going to put them on today, but the rain came.
Yeah.
But yeah, hand guards. That's my new.
So we all had kind of the similar modifications that these are these creature comforts that I have to have now. And yeah, it was fun trading bikes. So the Tracer GT felt immediately just comfortable. It felt taller, but my bike has a lowering kit, so I don't.
900cc.
I think it's the same. They have recently upgraded from the 847 to 892 or something. That's what like the new MT-09 and the new Nikon have that, but I don't know if his. I think his is the same.
I think they're all 900s.
847, but they call it a 900. Yeah. So yeah, his bike.
That irritates me so much. If it's an 847, it should be an 850.
I want to call weights and measures.
Exactly.
The thing I found interesting on the Tracer was the same issue I had with the FJ09. When the FJ09 came out, I wanted to love it. I was like, this is everything I want.
You had one or no?
No, I went to do a test ride, but I love the triple, and I love the FZ09, but I wanted more upright adventure style bike, and I'm like, this is the one.
I'm surprised you didn't love the Tiger.
And when I went and rode the FJ09, the foot pegs were slightly behind my center of gravity, which really bothered me. Because on an adventure bike, you need to be able to use your legs as added suspension and sometimes be able to pop up or take a hit. And but they were behind my center of gravity. And so I was surprised when I got on the Tracer that they felt like they're just like 2 inches back, almost like, sport style.
Yeah.
But my Nikon isn't. It's not forward, but it's just planted right straight underneath me. And so it felt a little tight. Just not a fit for me. Not to say it wouldn't be for someone else. But that's the one thing, that foot peg location. But we all had quick shifters on our bikes, a lot of the same little things. They all rode very well together. And
it was fun kind of seeing the Nikon in action, like seeing it in my mirrors or seeing it in front of me. But I thought we had that one little test where we were coming through the twisties and happened to just be where some other motorcycles were passing. So we're, giving a little hand wave. And the light up there is very mottled in the sense that there's trees and the sun's low in the sky. So the pavement's like light, dark, light, dark.
You're right. I think I was looking in my rearview mirror because we had some bikes passing us and just watching them.
Out of the blue, there was a section of pavement in our lane.
No, out of the blue, Jim screams.
Yeah, because I was like, because there's a section of pavement had sunk down.
Oh.
And if I had seen it earlier, it'd be like, no big deal, whatever. But I just saw it the last minute because I was looking at these motorcycles.
And it wasn't just a dip. It was a crack in the pavement.
It was like something the width of a car, a big truck tire, and probably 20 feet long, and the difference in height had to have been 4 to 6 inches.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a crack, so you really can't get your tire caught onto that edge,
You'd like to stay away from it. So last minute I was like, and I just kind of, went around it, no big deal. But it got my attention, and then a second later I hear, but you got to test out the 2-wheel suspension.
Yeah, that was one of my concerns, because still trying to understand how the Niken suspension works. But if one wheel suddenly is higher than the other, does it push you over off balance? And it didn't at all. They're independent, completely independent.
You're like, this is going to be good or bad? It's going to be.
Yeah.
But it was super smooth, huh?
Yeah. So.
Well, they're independent, but there is some linkage that I didn't notice up under the fairing that does connect the forks, and it's a fascinating piece of engineering. Yeah.
So really, it looks like this big, heavy thing, but it rides very nimble,
very
and quick.
Comfortable.
I mean, just coming home, got it up to triple digits.
Yeah.
On Highway 1.
Yeah, we got it going.
Though your bike did accelerate faster than mine.
Yeah, well.
But, and then we, of course, live to ride to eat.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Where'd you go to Sam's?
We went to Sam's.
Love Sam's.
For seafood.
Yeah,
Sam's
seafood place, Half Moon Bay.
Yep. Best clam chowder in the area.
Yeah,
I had the big bowl.
Yeah,
I had the big bowl of chowder.
Love it. Did you have they have a soft serve yogurt for dessert with olive oil and salt on it?
Oh, no shit.
It's freaking awesome. It sounds horrible.
No, I love
but
that
it's
stuff.
freaking awesome.
I love that stuff. No, I did have the chowder and some meatballs. You get a side of meatballs.
Really? And the chowder or outside of the chowder?
No, outside.
But we had that moment where we're sitting there on the outdoor patio in the sun and just still feeling the endorphins from just a great ride and eating oysters and lobster and I just was like, yeah, this is it. This is like the pinnacle. Life does not get better. It's one of those moments where you're sitting in it and go, yep.
Would you do Sam's or would you do a big bag of seafood? Which is your favorite?
What?
Like the thing we went to, the Chinese, the place we go to.
They're both
boil?
good.
You like the boil or the Sam's better?
Well, the sitting outside on a patio looking at the ocean.
You mean it's not as nice as a crusty old Chinese restaurant?
Yeah, across from the dollar store. Yeah.
Not only do they have lobster rolls, but they have multiple kinds of lobster rolls.
And a full bar.
And then we got to come home just feeling good, and we shot straight down Highway 1.
That's when you had your Parisian look. You should show Don a picture. Liza, so it's sunny out there, right? The sun was strong. And I had my hat on and stuff, and Tad had a visor, and Liza had her neck muff. Like, you wear it like a hat sometimes, but she had it draped over the side of her face. Like, oh, yeah, you look
I said, does it look good? He goes, oh, yeah. Liar.
But the nice about Sam's is it's the parking lot gets slammed. So cars trying to park just keep going in circles and stuff. But on the motorbikes, there's plenty of nook and cranny parking. So even though everybody's trying to stressing over parking, you can always find parking on a motorcycle. And we got lucky. I thought almost always we can find a seat at the bar. We've never had to wait. But this time it wasn't. There were lots of open tables.
It was perfect. And then, coming home with the views of the ocean and the waves.
It was iconic, Highway 1.
The sun and
Yeah, it was great. And then we did hit some of the passing lanes where we got to open it up a little bit.
But we were talking about, for all of us, this is one of those mental health rides where you're everything feels right. Everything just
I was clearing out a hangover,
everything
but
is good.
Same thing.
Everything is good. And so just
fun.
when you need one of those.
Yeah. I rode the Niken too for a while, and it was a very comfortable place to be. The seats cozy, tons of wind protection. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're I could see if you were doing a bunch of miles, just want to be kind of lazy for the most part, it's a great way to ride.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think all three bikes were very well suited for the type of the riding we do. They're all sport touring bikes that can flick through the twisties as well as they can just do 100 miles an hour down the highway.
I think it's worth talking about, though. You were underimpressed by my Gixxer S.
You want me to go there?
I think we should. Why not? I think it's healthy.
All right, I'm gonna tell you my real assessment.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to insult you. Okay. Let me explain it all. So when I rode your Gixxer, I was underwhelmed. Having ridden bikes before, like an S1000RR or an R1 or a Gixxer 750, or even going back to my GPZ 1100, right? That these bikes, when you give it the beans, they like spool up instantly and like, wah! And like you just get tossed back and you're like, oh my God, am I going to hold on? But your bike, and I say it's neutered in that you would give it the beans and go, wah! Like you could feel it almost plateau and then in a controlled way. Still accelerating. It was still faster than all of our bikes, but in this very like controlled, I say neutered, but that sounds like I'm being insulting. And I was saying that for all the reasons you wanted that bike to have something that is safer to ride, it seems like that's what it's made to do, because it is harnessed. It is harnessed power. It's not just like unleash it.
Yeah, it's not the explosive power. So
that I was expecting out of a Gixxer 1000.
Right.
It was very refined and controlled and comforting, not scary. Does that make sense?
We ended up calling it sophisticated at the end.
Yeah. I'm trying to, I've ridden bikes that you're like, oh my God.
Well, if you look at the Gixxer 750, right, that's an out of the box, ready to race bike, right? And so it's a racing sport bike. Well, my bike has integrated luggage. So I think the difference is, it's a grand touring bike. It's a GT. So I'll still say the FC1 is a more fun bike to ride. It's more nimble. It has all the power. It just doesn't have the ABS and traction.
Well, the traction control was on. And same with like my bike. Mm-hmm. Traction control is on. You can wheelie your bike. You can wheelie a Niken, but you got to take the traction control off. I think that's what gives you the scary power. And so you have to take that off. So neither bike did we. None of the bikes did we take it off. We're not like, oh. So that's why I think I was like, oh, you can really feel the electronics coming in and just kind of controlling how it's doling out the power. Mm-hmm. So you can't get too much, but it still is so well refined that it's taking off way faster than me, but not in a hold on.
Like an explosive manner. It's not like an explosive bike. Like we were talking, what model was that Super Duke that you had that scared me?
Well, it was a 990 Super Duke.
Yeah, and it was naked, right? The Street Fighter looking one. Yeah, and that thing just had such a poppy throttle.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you compared those two even, that KTM was a much more, explosive kind of a bike.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was fun. It was kind of, so I got to ride both, the Niken too. So it was fun to compare the inline fours and the triple motors.
Now, do I want to, maybe it would be interesting to try your bike again with the traction control off.
Yeah, in sport mode with traction control off. That would be kind of fun.
Because then that might have the spooky mode.
Oh, yeah, you can get the wheel off the ground because I did that. That's why I keep the traction control on.
So, yeah, I think that's exactly what it was, because I could actually feel it, like that burst of power, and then it kind of level off.
Yeah.
And like just in this very controlled acceleration. Yeah. So
anyway, I thought it was just kind of interesting. Fun to talk about.
Yeah. And then I'll just say, just to end the perfect day, John and Mrs. Stumpy and I went to the Warriors basketball game.
That was such a great game.
Minor League Warriors, just for
I wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
D-League, which is probably better.
Actually, G-League. He explained the difference to me.
G-League is different than D-League.
Well, when did it go from D to G?
I know.
D is usually the developmental league for the first time kids who get picked in the draft.
Right.
The G-League will have some kids that got drafted, but mostly undrafted kids that they bring in.
So they're better?
So the D-League's in the summer, usually before the next season, and the G League is during the season.
Oh, that's cool because they started it was D League. Yeah, good.
Yeah,
good
they changed
for them.
it a couple years ago.
Right on.
So yeah, we have the Warriors minor league team here, just a few blocks from the garage.
Yeah,
And
What a game.
and, cheap.
They got this new crazy thing for overtime. Instead of doing a full period like they do for regular basketball, they do it's a first team to get 7 points wins. It's like a sudden death 7 points.
Oh yeah, and they were
Super
getting
intense.
That's awesome.
trampled.
Yeah.
The first 3 quarters, trampled, and then they just came back in the last quarter and got ahead, and then the other team tied it up, and then it went into this OT first to 7, and they slammed it.
It was so fun.
That's awesome. They turn the clock off, and whoever and it's game to
First
7.
one
They
to 7.
keep the shot clock on, but not the game clock.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I bet people were going crazy.
Yeah, it was fun.
And it's fun, and some of these guys do get pulled up to play at the Warriors. Sometimes
2 of them got pulled up this year already and put back down. But
sometimes they pull them up, put them on the roster
minor
for
league
different
baseball.
stuff.
It's fun. There's times I've been and you'll see, everybody's playing and, they make mistakes and they're definitely not NBA level. And then somebody will come out and just dominate the game. And they're like, oh, yeah, that guy actually plays for, at the pro level, he's coming off an injury.
Right. When they rehab, they go there.
And you get to see how good those guys are. Then you see what it takes to go to that next level.
You'll see the coach, like the Steve Kerr will be there often. And
really?
it's
That's
fun,
cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. When I was there a couple of weeks ago, one of the Warriors coaches was there. But it was just, and they won, and the crowd went wild, and it was great.
So great to have that in town.
What are seats, like $45 or something?
We were in the cheap seats, which is the 7th row, for $40.
Yeah, right at the 50-yard, or 50, right in the midcourt.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was the halftime?
7th row.
What was halftime entertainment?
Oh my God. It was a junior high
the band.
marching band.
With the tiniest junior high I've ever seen in my life.
With a flautist who's in the 6th grade, who's about 3'9".
Yeah, she was cute.
That's right. They have like a tuba.
Yeah, there was a tuba. All the stuff. But so that just kind of ended just a perfect day. So you both were part of that perfect day. Good ride, just really perfect timing before we got into the rain. I'm going to jump around. We got different topics, but I'm going to jump around. I wanted to talk about. I'm going to make an announcement.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the upcoming stuff we got going on the.
I'm going to make an announcement. So I had kind of teased about that I may be going on a trip to Peru, and I finally got the clearance. I am going to Peru.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome. Is that Machu Picchu?
Yes, I'm going to go to Machu Picchu.
Yeah, wow.
And Lake Titicaca.
That's worth going to just for the name. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm really excited, and I wanted to kind of share. This is actually going to be. They're going to come on as a sponsor of our show as part of this trip. But I'm pretty excited about this. This is a company called Vintage Rides, and it's a French motorcycle tour company.
We have talked about them before.
Yes, with Wendy Crockett.
I interviewed her.
Yes, exactly.
And I learned about...
And if you actually go to vintagerides.travel, that is the English website. If you go to vintagerides.com, it is the French website.
Bonjour.
And so this is a company that is headquartered in France and in India because they partnered with Royal Enfields. And they have tours all over the world. And I'm kind of excited that I've discovered them. Because, I don't know, traditionally, we've all got all these tours going on, with Cat McLeod and with Moin Khan. And we got all the, Breaking Away Matt, all these things that we do. But to me, tours had mostly been really expensive, kind of for rich people. You go ride BMWs around Germany or Ducatis in Italy, or go to South Africa and ride with Charlie Borman.
These are reasonable.
For like $8,000. Like, tours to me were out of reach for most of my life until I discovered Pakistan. I'm like, well, this is cheap. I love this, and it's kind of gritty and fun. But this company offers so many varieties of tours, which is amazing. And I'm talking about so many continents. I'm talking about Asia, Europe, Africa. What did I miss?
South America.
What's
the one? It's not Myanmar. What's
Bhutan?
Bhutan. I thought the fact you can go to Bhutan was pretty fascinating.
They go to India, South Africa, Peru.
What I thought was great is, and it's actually kind of sounds like fun, is you can take an adventure class, like adventure riding class. In France.
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
But the other thing too, like, so I'm going to Peru. They have 6 different Peru trips this year alone.
Wow.
Just Peru. So they've developed these tours all over in all these different countries, and they have multiple ones throughout the year happening. And they're not that expensive. For instance, the Peru trip, I think is pounds. So I think about $5,500 for 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're not short. I'll say they're not expensive, but they're not cheap either by any means. But it is like almost 2 full weeks, which is a pretty long time.
Yeah, that's
with
cheap.
everything included.
Yeah. So
cheap.
even if you're going like to Maui or Mexico, it's going to run up to that much money. So. Yeah, the fact they're a couple of weeks is pretty cool.
The other thing that I like is they've separated all their tours into these categories. So you got the adventure touring. So you can click on adventure tour, and it tells you this is like 6 to 8 hours a day. What do they say? There's going to be some dirt. Yeah, 6 to 8 hours of riding a day. Unexpected events on the road. Remote regions, right? Mm-hmm. Or you can choose luxury tour. And luxury tour, that's more for like people who want to go like 2 up. It says 3 to 4 hours of riding a day, relaxation and free time, boutique or superior comfort hotels. Okay, so you want something a little bit nicer. Or motorcycle ramble is a category. What's a motorcycle ramble? 4 to 6 hours of riding a day, routes blending culture and discovery. And that's boutique or comfort accommodations. So like the rambles go to India, Nepal, Thailand, Laos, Indonesia. And they even have women's only.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, there's a Nepal trip for women. And then there's even another category. Oh yeah, the motorcycle training.
Yeah.
You can go do training. I think it's so cool how I've never seen a motorcycle tour company that provides so many different options. And what I like is that you can kind of get in, like do one of their tours and like, well, where do you want to go next year? And kind of just, they offer so much. I'm kind of like, it's like seeing a menu at a restaurant and you can't decide what you want. So you want to keep going back to that restaurant and trying the different dishes.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And
I like the adventure ones they have, which is a lot more dirt, like half dirt riding.
Yeah, and I remember we were talking to Wendy. They got local guides and get it all sorted out. But yeah, the amount of locations are just wild.
And they're all on Royal Enfields, which is another part. Yeah,
Tanzania,
that's on my list.
Dude.
That's part of what makes it affordable too, is on these Royal Enfields, which somebody might say, why would you take like a bike that's going to break down? Because you can fix it really easily everywhere. In all these places. So, the 3 days of off-road training in France is about $1,100.
That's not really bad. That's not bad at all.
No.
I mean,
I'm looking, there's one in Sri Lanka. It's only $3,100.
Well, I'm looking at the Himalayan one, and it's only like less than $2,000.
So
that's reasonable.
We're gonna be talking more, but I'm excited to be partnering with Vintage Rides, and just because I simply love everything they have to offer. And as a motorcyclist, I've never found this many affordable trips.
Yeah,
and ones that kind of they don't all fit my style. Like Cat McLeod does these amazing adventure rides, and I've always I tease them. Because like Mike and Emma, they love doing those trips. I'm like, I'm not really a nice day ride and then have some pasta and wine. I'm not really that type of person, you know. Right. I like there to be the risk of death at some point in the trip.
Yeah, like the guy jumping out the kitchen window when the propane tank was on fire.
I kind of like,
if you don't get fire breathing diarrhea, it's not a good trip.
I kind of this will sound weird, but I kind of like the thrill that there may be dirty sheets on the bed.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Because you're staying in a place that like just different, like isn't really a hotel, but travelers are put up in the local village. You know, I kind of like that. Oh, was that
adventure.
a motorcycle outside?
Okay.
I thought it reminded me of the days when Bosley was here with Snore.
Oh,
No, I miss Bosley.
Anyway, so
Oh, there he is, right there.
check out.
The other thing I like
Vintage
about
rides.
vintage rides is we know Wendy, and Wendy totally vouches for him. So it's like Wendy's not going to vouch for stuff.
Yeah,
that's
so
not
yeah,
good,
they brought Wendy on to get exposure. They're trying to break into the American market, and I'll be honest, that's another thing I'm kind of think is going to be cool. That knowing that going on these tours, there's going to be a lot of Europeans, so it's going to be a different crowd. Look, I'm just going to say it. Americans can be bad travelers sometimes. It can be embarrassing.
We're awesome. What are you talking about?
You know what I mean.
America, fuck yeah.
You know what I mean.
America, baby.
So I'm kind of looking forward to traveling with Europeans. What? You have an opinion?
No, I mean, you bring your foie gras with the Europeans. Us Americans, we're
Bonjour, ça va?
there we go.
Oui, ça va bien.
Man, you're not. I don't know if you're like high class enough for Europeans, Liza.
I cannot argue with that.
It'll be
You're
fun.
have to change your underwear
because
and
I'm
stuff
an
like that.
American.
Got to change your underwear.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
I'm
come on.
going to be the American.
It's the universal love of motorcycle.
No, it'll be fine. We love our Euros.
I will be the one like, hey guys, watch this. Da, 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 da. Ah, stupid Americans.
Yeah,
always farting.
Make sure you're wearing your baseball cap.
Yeah, and your cargo shorts.
Yeah, my Crocs. So yeah, I'm going to talk more about that, but I'm excited. So I am going to Peru, but you guys got some stuff.
Yeah.
you're
So
planning
that
to
said,
do.
it is time to start preparing for Stumpistan.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Coming up 2024.
yeah. So
dirty sheets and the possibility of death.
don't scare my people.
And you
away.
will have some stomach issues.
No, Moyne has actually
No, Moyne is very careful.
Moyne
with
has
us.
upped the hotels.
Yeah, they're nice.
When I talk about dirty sheets, that's when you're literally staying in like a village and they're just like they roll out carpet and put mattresses out and make a hotel for you.
So it's going to be a phenomenal trip this year. It's going to be slightly different than the last one we did. We're going to go up to the highest polo field in the world.
Oh, Shandur.
Yeah, and so even if you went last time, this will be a different ride, but it's coming up quick, and I would love to make sure we fill this trip out because we need. It's just it's such a great time, and it's so worth your time and energy.
Well, you're doing the same route I'm going to be doing later in the year for Chickstand.
I always want to go first.
I know you're going first. I'll tell you the thing that I am most excited that you're going to visit. I'll get to revisit. But besides Shandur, is the Kalash Valley. And for me, Kalash Valley is one of the really coolest places I visited in Pakistan that reminds you, it breaks the stereotype of what you think people from Pakistan are. The Kalash Valley, and you're on the eastern side, and you're just, I think, 6 miles from Afghanistan, but it's over mountains, so it's not like desert. This is mountains. And these people have been persecuted for centuries from the Muslims, everybody. They are their own tribe.
Own clique.
Like tribe. They are animists, not Muslims. They believe that everything has a soul. They are descendants of Alexander the Great. They're kind of fair-skinned. And the women wear this clothing festooned in colorful yarn that's something that you might see in like Peru or Bolivia, you know? It's not anything like what you expect to see in this region. And you're welcomed into their village, into their homes. There's a museum there with all sorts of like artifacts and history. You're going to go up to their cemetery, which is open caskets in a boulder field, which is interesting. But even just the ride up into this valley is one of those dirt roads carved out of the side of a cliff with a raging river down below.
Yep.
And you hope a Jeep or a car isn't coming
I don't know
down
if we're
because then you got
helping.
to hug the cliff.
But you will be, in spite of that, you will be well taken care of. We have security with us. We got chase vehicles. We've got mechanics with us. We've got folks to help us with luggage. It is truly an all-inclusive trip. And I would love to fill this out and to really have a Misfits whole contingency again. So here's the dates. June 28th through July 10th of 24. It's a 13 days and 13 nights, 14-day trip. You'll fly into Islamabad. We'll leave from there. And then we'll actually take vans over the hill to Muri or Naran and pick up our bikes there, and then go from there. So it's moderately strenuous in difficulty, but I think most people could do it fine. The maximum will go all the way up to 15,400 feet. You'll be on a Honda CB 150F, and we got 12 spots available right now. So I would love for you to do it. The total cost all in is just over It's $4,200 all in. So, and that's food, that's housing, that's motorcycles, that's chase vehicles, that's everything. You just get yourself to Islamabad, and that's what it cost you.
And I just got licked. I thought it was Jim for a second there, but it was whiskey.
Only if you've been eating fried chicken.
Scott's here. Go ahead and close the door, Scott.
And a puppers.
Hey, whiskey.
So,
you're going to Ayoun Fort.
Yes.
Do you know what Ayoun Fort is? That's another thing. So when you come down from the Kalash Valley, you're going to be coming down and going through another village up to this old fort that's up on the hill above the village that's been turned into a hotel. But this fort, I mean, it's got like the walls and everything. And the guy who owns it, his dad has owned it for years. He was not an ambassador, but he might have been an ambassador, but he had traveled and he collected trees from around the world and has this amazing oasis-like gardens on this property inside the fort walls with all these trees and water features. And it's so beautiful, so cool.
So I promise you that your life will be changed. I can make that promise. So, this is the year. None of us are getting any younger. Might as well do this stuff now when we can. For $500 or $495, you can reserve your spot, and then the rest is due before the trip. But come on, Misfits, let's go. Let's go do this. And you get to hang with me, and there's nothing better. Ask Liza and Jim.
Will they be sharing a room with you?
But only if they want to. I mean, I'm mildly gassy sometimes, and I might snore.
The sounds that come out of you, John.
Yes, well, it's part of the charm.
It was a well-earned name when the hot shot came in.
Hey, Scott.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for letting me in late.
Yeah, bring that up closer to you.
Okay, working on it.
And then, when are you going to go to Pakistan?
So next year, I have a friend in Singapore who wants to have me join him in Mongolia. Still waiting on dates on that. And Pakistan is an option. And one of my friends out in the Smokies out in North Carolina wants me to go back to Europe with him, but we're thinking 25 for that one.
John, are you doing a Stumpastan in 25?
I'm not that far out yet. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Might do a Scottistan.
Ooh. I got to set up something then.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe. So, Jim, you have your little not a real trip coming up too.
Yes, I got my not a rally,
not a
trip coming up. So I'm calling this a motorcycle gathering. Basically,
you should pay attention, Scott. You'll be interested in.
So all it is if you listen to the podcast, we and I go down to Johnson Valley a bunch. It's 45 minutes south of Barstow, so it's Johnson Valley OHV. Okay. And I'm just going to be down there the end of January, beginning of February. So it's going to be, I think, January 30th. January 30th, I think, is a Tuesday. I'm going to go down there.
I'll be there.
Right on, yeah. And then I'm going to be there till Sunday, I'm thinking. And it's just, no rules, man. Just cool. There's 3 rules. I'll say that. Be cool, be kind, bring firewood. That's really about it. And so it's BL, here's the skinny. So it's BLM land. So it's open camping. So be self-sufficient. There is a town about 20 minutes away, Lucerne Valley, that has all the basic needs you could really want, which is pretty handy.
Yeah.
Other couple of things. It's also the final weekend of King of the Hammers. So this is the Ultra 4, whatever they call it. But this is the desert racing where these highly modified vehicles go ripping through the desert, hauling ass, whatever, 100 miles an hour. Then we'll come to actual Jeep crawl sections. But if anyone knows about King of the Hammers knows what it's all about. It's this crazy rock crawl stuff, and it gets pretty wild. I stumbled upon it one year, maybe 5 years ago, just rolling around back in the mountains, and all of a sudden I had this vista of Hammertown. And Hammertown is where they set up for the racing. It's all it is a spot on the map in the desert normally, but during the King of the Hammers events, it turns into, it has to be 30,000 people. It's like Mad Max meets an America convention. It's one of the coolest things ever. There's motorcycles, there's race cars and trucks, people having parties. So anyway, and where we camp in Johnson Valley, it's right on the edge of part of the race course. So one of the cool things in the morning, like say Saturday morning when the pro class is racing, we can just bip across the valley, 5 minutes, and it's the section where the high speed stuff comes into a Jeep, like a Jeep crawl area. Anyway.
So for people who want to join, what kind of bike? Is this dirt bikes only? Is this adventure bikes? Is it plated only?
You can probably take whatever you want, but
So
you probably want a dirt bike.
Yeah, so I'll just say I'm going to try to get a flyer together in the next few days that we can post on whatever the social media stuff to give more information. But this is desert riding, so it's dirt bike for sure. I mean, if you wanted to like cut your chops on adventure riding in the desert, you could do it there. I wouldn't say don't do it, but for the most part, if you're going to have a good time for a couple of days, you want a proper dirt bike, something I would say 350cc or more.
Yeah.
Scott, don't you have a DR350?
Yeah, I was just thinking about
Yeah,
that.
DR350 would be perfect for that.
Okay.
And and like I said, we'll just set up camp. I got a cool spot. I'll put a GPS coordinate out there, and it's pretty easy to find. We found out last time.
Yep.
A couple of people found it in the dark, even, which I was pretty impressed with.
Do you have to bring a shovel to bury your poop?
Well, someone will have one, but yeah, you should be. What I'll say is be
It's that
self-sufficient.
kind of trip.
Or you
Yeah.
can just leave it.
We're about a quarter mile from a bathroom but it's like a foot of sand.
There is
to
a
get there.
pit toilet, but you got to.
So you don't want to bust your ass on the way to the bathroom to bust your ass.
And just while we're chatting about it, a couple things to be aware of. It is the desert in January, so
Cold.
It could be cold as fuck. It could be nice. It could be windy, like hurricane windy, for like days straight, or it could be none of that. So it's one of these things.
Or
just
it could be raining cats and dogs.
Yeah. It could be all the above. So anyway, it's fun nonetheless. Just come prepared.
The snakes are looking for warm bodies.
Yes. Hopefully the Sidewinders
cuddle
will
up
be in a
with.
hole at that point.
I did Death Valley in February. I'd imagine it'd be something similar, right? Weather-wise.
I think so. I think it's about the same elevation, like 3,000 or 4,000 feet. So yeah, it could be who the fuck. It could snow. It could be like high as 68 and beautiful. You never know.
Yeah.
But anyway, just come. Come be self-sufficient. We're just gonna do whatever people feel like doing. Small groups, big groups, fuck around. There's plenty to do out there. So, and bring a friend. Bring a couple of friends. I don't care. More the merrier.
And if you need more info, you can just email us. I've been forwarding the emails to Jim, motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com.
Yeah. Shout out to Mark. Mark's gonna do some desert racing down there too. It sounds like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. But I thought that was kind of cool. And Tony, shout out to Tony.
Mm-hmm. So on another topic, I want to just shout out to, we're getting lots of shout out today, Missy and Matt from MotoHop. You all should go here, motohop.co.
Yeah, and I want to say they sent this to me a few weeks ago, and I keep forgetting to mention it. So
we met them at Vintage Motorcycle Days this year. A tremendous
remember they had that
couple.
tent outside
Yeah,
our
right.
trailer.
I do. Yeah, they were super nice.
So they do graphic design. They have a new podcast and all kinds of great motorcycle stuff. So go to their website, motohop.com. They sent us some stickers, so I'll pass them around to you all. But I love our community, so let's support them also. So motohop.co.
New podcast on the scene. I think they got 12 episodes now, maybe.
They've already got AMA Vintage Days on their 2024 calendar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So talking about 24, because this is we're getting near the end of the year.
Yep.
Let's talk about 2 weeks from now.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's right.
New Year's Eve. So we're not going to be doing a recording next week because it's going to be Christmas Eve.
Yep.
But the week after that, Emma, John, and I have committed to be here. And I was thinking it would be fun to send out the Zoom link and let people join us for a little New Year's Eve chit-chat session.
We should do like a drinking game every time. I don't know. Liza mentions Nike and you got to take a shot or something. I don't know.
Oh, that could be dangerous.
It could be.
That's a great idea, though. Those are always fun, man. We did that during the COVID. That was good.
I know, that was fun. We'd have kind of, sessions.
It was fun.
So we're going to be doing that, I think, and we're going
Did we
to...
get Emma back in the bathtub like she did when she was in COVID? Remember that?
Oh, my God.
That was fun.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I think what we're going to do in 2 weeks for our last show of this year, we will record. I think we're going to try and do early. Like I'll have to set the time. Let's say 4 p.m. I think we can come at 4 p.m. Pacific time, which would be 7 p.m. East Coast time. So I think it's early enough if people want to join us. And I will be sending the link out to anyone who wants to join us for some end of the year chit chat.
Yeah, those were always, they were fun. I like doing that.
Yeah, little New Year's Eve party. So if you want to join us, keep an eye out for that. Next up, I wanted to talk about an idea I have brewing for next year. And Scott, I'd like your input on this. Anyone can have some input on this. Normally, I prefer to kind of have a more well-formed thought before we make an announcement. But I thought it'd be interesting to kind of just throw this idea out there and get feedback from everyone and kind of form this a little bit better. So, I like doing crazy stuff. Like we did the Numbnuts challenge, stuff like that. Remember even when I said I'm going to give $1,000 away to charities and let everyone choose which charities to go through? So along those lines, I decided it would be really cool next year to give away a motorcycle. Okay? So
a 2024 GSA or something like that?
No. No, I thought it would be fun for us to buy a project bike and fix it up here at the garage.
Okay.
And then give it away. So, and again, I'm just kind of thinking on my thought process here. I've had a couple ideas. So who would be the recipient or what kind of bike? So one of my ideas was what kind of bike would anybody, whose phone? Yeah.
Was that yours?
I don't think so. No, mine is muted.
So is mine.
Same.
It's the dogs.
Maybe it's Whiskey's phone.
Whiskey. So I thought, who would, almost anyone would appreciate a neat vintage bike, right? Like a little KE100 or something like that, right? A little vintage bike is fun. Or even a little mini bike.
Stretch Busa.
Anyone can enjoy a mini bike. But not everyone would want
We could buy them a Chinese mini bike. Like an Amigo. Just no. Let's not do
Just
that.
no. Just no.
But then I also thought, but not everybody wants, an SV650 or whatever bike we come up with, like a BMW touring bike or even a Sportster, whatever we come up with. Not everyone's going to want that. So I thought maybe it'd be better if we chose a bike that is meant to go to somebody who's a new rider. Mm-hmm. And that instead of somebody winning the bike, they nominate people to get the bike to be the recipient for their first bike.
I think that's a better fit for what you do here.
Yeah. And we could surprise the recipient too. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yes. But then we get into problems so I was talking to Emma about this. You think we can get a bike for $1,500 and for less than $1,000, get it fixed up and nice? And she's like, oh, definitely. Less than that. She finds deals on bikes all the time. Yeah, but whatever bike it is, whoever wins it, we may have to spend $1,000 to ship it somewhere.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? I didn't think about that.
Right.
Well, or just ask Scotty to drive it wherever.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to take into consideration.
I mean, you could keep it in California, maybe.
No, but I mean, again, we're just thinking out loud here, trying to plan. How do we do this? But I love the idea of enabling somebody, of giving a bike to somebody who needs a bike. Or, okay, just spitballing here. How about this idea? I just had this. What if it's a scooter?
No.
My kids both passed their license test
Veto
on scooter.
power.
That's the gateway drug right there.
Veto power.
It's not a terrible
as somebody
idea.
who was a recipient of a free scooter
love it.
from the garage.
I love the idea.
Mm-hmm.
A scooter is a bike anyone could appreciate.
Yeah. When the kids finished with the Zuma, we had it around town in Alameda, and that thing's just a gas there.
Well, Jim, why did you say no so fast?
Because I like the idea of we're a motorcycle garage, motorcycles and misfits. Now we all love scooters. You got to hear me out. You can't just pass judgment.
I am hearing you out.
I will be the first to agree.
But I am giving you the stink eye.
Sure is. Bagel's not here, so
everyone needs a scooter, and I think they're brilliant. AMA Vintage Days, riding around, drinking a cup of coffee, or rallying them through the woods. I do like them, but it's a very different. In a lot of ways, it's a very different animal than a motorcycle. Say, for example, we found, I'm just for conversation's sake, like a mid-70s XL Honda 350, right? Like a nice vintage dual sport. First of all, we want something that's going to be rideable and reliable and runs. Yep. They hit the starter or whatever, and it goes, kickstart, it goes. So I think that's important when you redo the bike. But what I like about it, and it can be any vintage-ish. It could be your DR350, for example. But I like the dual sport bikes for a number of reasons. They're easy to ride.
Yeah.
They're light. There's one cylinder. They're easy to do oil changes on. They're easy to do chain adjustments on. They're neutral seating position. I think dual sports are like the best beginner bicycles for a lot of reasons. And the reason I said no so quickly, and I like the idea of a vintage, even a standard bike, your Kawasaki 400, for example, is it's got that cool nostalgia to it. And I think that's partly what ignited my passion in motorcycling. Wasn't a scooter. It was a motorcycle and dirt bikes and that kind of stuff. So I think if you're trying to ignite the passion of a new motorcyclist and you want to teach them in a misfits kind of sort of style, give them a cool looking bike that they can learn to wrench on themselves.
It'd be a great bike, like a DR200.
Yeah. Totally, or
be a perfect bike.
I was thinking like
XTs.
your daughter's Ascot would work too.
Yeah, Ascot, a little big maybe, like the 250s, but like the XT 250, any of the 250 dual sports. But make it kind of vintage, so when they go somewhere, they're like, check out, it's kind of cool,
Okay.
You could also dice it up a little bit as far as have people nominate for different categories, and whichever category gets the most nominations, you get that kind of a bike.
Yeah. So I have, all right, 2 ideas to throw out. One, would this be rude if whoever is nominating is willing to pay the shipping to transport
or to
the
figure
bike
out
to
the
them?
shipping, yeah, whatever.
Meaning, someone in California can nominate someone.
Reasonable. I think that's reasonable.
Oh, it's Bigfoot outside or something.
Yeah.
Well, what I like about
but,
this,
like,
I think you're
because
going
they
with
can.
this.
I'd be willing to go drive 3 hours to go pick it up for my friend, my son's friend. But if it's somebody in Pennsylvania, they're like, well, would I be willing to pay to get
That's
this
a good idea,
shipped?
Yep.
Well, it's kind of fun because we're having a conversation and are we soliciting ideas? If people have ideas, let us know, kind of a thing. But maybe it kind of depends on what the situation, and people that listen to the podcast and know what we're up to, maybe they would be willing to pay part of the shipping, or there's some other arrangement we can work out. But I think don't worry about that so much. I love the idea that like a listener can say, hey, I've got someone that wants to get into riding, or someone would like to get into riding, and giving it away in that vein. I think that's really cool.
The reason I say that, because if it's like a bike that's worth, like DR200, something that's worth $1,200, are we going to pay $1,000 to ship it to Florida? Which is what it could cost.
Well,
but
you just say, hey, that's part of the giveaway, and fuck it.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure that the logistics out.
Mm-hmm. Although it would be fun to do that and try to get some video of it arriving.
But let me throw out another idea. Maybe we already have the bike.
The Nikon? Really?
No?
KZ?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about the KZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, KZ, yeah.
I could see that.
So, and here's why. I mean, I have a KZ 400, a 1976 KZ 400 that sits in the back of the garage that I bought a couple years ago when I still kind of was like, I want another project bike. And I got it running, rode it once, parked it. I've never registered it. I just drained all the fluids and there. Here's why I have that bike and why it might be good for this. The whole reason the Recycle Garage exists is because of a KZ 400 that I had in my 20s in Boston.
Yeah.
That a guy I met at a bar helped me fix it up.
Uh-huh.
And I did not have the skills or the money to keep that bike running, and it was my only transportation. And it meant so much to me that this guy spent time letting me use his tools and showing me how to do stuff. And that stuck with me so much that was part of the impetus for the recycle garage.
I like that idea.
And so that's why I have that bike sitting there, because to me it has some significance in the roots of the garage.
Yeah. Yep. Great one. Good choice. Would you? So I know you got it running and all that kind of stuff. What would you do? Would you do anything to make it more special for someone than it is right now? Like polish the cases or whatever that might be.
Paint job at our faces.
I think a paint job. So it does not have the stock paint job. It has a pretty nice paint job, but it's like a green that is not stock at all. And if you asked Emma, she would say, "Oh no, this is unacceptable." And maybe getting a paint job that has our logo or something on it. Or maybe just returning it to factory graphics and making it more valuable. If it just
I like that idea. And you could sneak a dildo in there somewhere. I don't know, but factory stock.
I don't know. I mean, that's possible. And it's. I was thinking of selling it just because of the space.
Well, you're definitely in shedding motorcycle mode right now.
Yeah. Well, and because I realize I'm never going to ride it. I
That matters. Yeah.
I fixed it up. I rode it once around the block and went, okay, put it away. Mm-hmm. And I realized, I'm never going to ride it. It is a kickstart only bike.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a downside for a new rider.
My first bike was a kicker, a 77 RD400.
But it is a bike that we could, even like polish it up, give it the real nice treatment. Everyone kind of jump in and because I haven't like changed the fork oil fluid and like.
I mean, so that's all the stuff you'd
like
want
we
to do.
could really go through.
Well, you'd want to turn the bike over to someone in pretty perfect condition for a 40 or 50-year-old bike. You know what I'm saying? Though you want all the fluids to be fresh. You want everything to be spot on and
new chain, new sprockets.
It speaks to the weenie aspect of it. Is there a liability around that? And I know you give that some thought with this community.
I don't worry about that.
Don't you? Okay. And you got people wrenching on their own bikes here, and I think that's a big part of the answer. But one of the strengths of this community, you appeal more to younger, newer riders because those are the folks you're helping, where a lot of the AMA clubs, the local folks I'm involved with, the joke about OMC is old men's club. And that's been for decades. It's not just recent. So they're trying to figure out how to get newer membership into a lot of the AMA clubs. And so that's, San Jose, that's Richmond Ramblers, that's, Cap City, whoever. But if they did community shop days like you do, I think that would draw in this next generation of riders that we want to see pick up the sport and continue it and evolve it.
I don't know. There's another part of me. One of the things I love doing here in the garage is exposing people to different types of riding.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, I'd love to give away a dirt bike to somebody who's maybe not
dual
ridden
sport.
dirt.
Sure. I'm telling you,
I know.
dual sport.
I know, and expose somebody to a whole nother type of riding.
And again, I like them, easy parts. Easy to work on. There's just so many, and they look fucking bitchin'. You roll up in a vintage dirt bike, people think that's cool. It doesn't even have to be that vintage. It could be 90s.
Even that DR, right?
Yeah. I mean, the DR paint job, that whatever night, what year of it, it was like the Lakers colors.
Yeah, the purple and yellow.
Yeah, the purple and yellow.
It's crazy. Yeah,
but there's so many out there, like an XT 250. But anyway.
But
an XT 225 would be a great bike. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they go for money though.
Yeah, they know they do.
Well, I'm just saying,
I know.
if we put our ear to the ground, something in this vein may avail itself for reasonable.
Do we restrict it to our Patreons or to our rally attendees or?
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
No, I think we open it up.
I would ask podcast listeners, dude, if you were going to do what kind of a raffle do you think would be cool, and how would you do it? And what's the purpose of this anyway? We're trying to get new riders into the sport, right? Because we're not trying to make money. Some people raffle bikes for money, right?
No.
Buy a ticket and blah blah blah.
No.
So this isn't that. This isn't really a money thing.
No. So one of the other ideas I had. So the question is why. One of the reasons is to help our show get exposure and to find new people. And one of the ways you can do that is if people share the post on social media, they automatically get entered.
Sure.
So we're getting exposure for an entry. But that's if we were just going to straight up give it away as opposed to nominating somebody. And again, how do we deal with a bike that's cross country? Or do we go with something vintage? I still am not letting go of the scooter thing too. They're practical and people will use them.
Yeah.
Didn't Emma say there was she had a line on a Bajaj? I think she mentioned that
I'm
yesterday.
not sure.
Yeah, she mentioned that last week, I think.
But
But Bagel if you wanted it.
But even no, all right, whose phone was that? That wasn't mine. Somebody's phone is dinging. Yeah.
Not mine.
Mine's on.
All right. So, but let me play this out.
Yeah, my shit's muted.
I'm just looking at like all the models in this room.
Yeah.
Like we could get like a little Ducati Monster and fix it up. Like that's just a decent little bike,
But not
right?
for
Not for $1,000 bucks.
rider. And for
I
a new
know.
rider.
I've seen cheap Ducatis.
Like that low?
Yeah, especially if you get to a 620 Monster.
Oh.
But it just depends. I mean, Emma comes across this stuff. Like there's a Monster above Scott's head.
What about like a Weestrom
Or a Versus,
or a 650
which are undervalued bikes, but a very decent bike.
But again, is that a beginner motorcycle? I would say not the best. I would say they could do it, but I like the 250 range kind of thing. 650 for a new rider. I mean, especially if you have a short inseam and stuff like that.
You're the trainer. What do you think, Scott?
I mean, my kid got a Ninja 650 as a first bike, right? The older kid. And it's
Right.
always been a little bit too big to have much confidence in learning, where, the younger one, Ben, he's on that CB500.
Right.
Which he's still running a year plus later, and he's pretty happy on that. Granted, he's tall. He's 6'2".
Yeah. Well, I think when we're ready to purchase, we'll see what's out there.
So the other thing is kind of like going back to like the Ascot, right? If we take a bike that we can turn into like a street tracker or a cafe racer or something,
That would be cool.
Where we're really working on it,
Yeah.
and
We could do that
morphing it into something really cool.
Yeah.
It's your
totally.
Kawasaki.
Yeah. But it looks it's so
I know,
stock.
so classic,
that's
I
good
know, but-
stock.
But I think the big things are something light. You're not going to drop over
I'd
that
agree.
easy. Something
Yep.
light.
Something not too tall for
Yeah, you
shorter
get your
people.
feet down easy, and something to get a wrench on. Where the oil filters and shit's easy to get to.
I also like the idea of an old Sportster. Like an 883.
Yeah.
Well, when you think a lot of our listeners don't have a Sportster, I mean, haven't ridden a Harley, they're exposing it to that.
Exactly.
Or even an old Scrambler. I don't know.
Well, look at this Yamaha DT1. Right? It's just an old kind
Maybe not a 4-stroke or a 2-stroke.
well, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the ideal bike to learn on from experience.
I don't know. So, yeah, well, we'd like to hear from people. What do you think? We're really trying to figure out. This is a way of just giving back to our community, I wanted to, let's see, we had a topic I'm going to save. I wanted to talk a little bit about helmets for a second. Because I've had this helmet sitting in here for weeks to talk about. And I haven't gotten to it. So, you know what? Scott has no idea what we're going to talk about. So I'm just going to ask you this question and say, so smart helmets, they've come and gone, right? With different features in them. And they seem to never really have taken off. So I want to ask you, Scott, what features would you be interested in a smart helmet? Like, what would you want in a smart helmet that would be like, yes, this is everything I need?
Some of the things I've seen I kind of like. I mean, like having a small heads-up display that actually works, having the rear view thing works. Audio is critical, good audio with a microphone. When the Scully thing hit, I kind of, bit into that too. I didn't spend anything, fortunately, but I was kind of enraptured by that idea. And then I'm like, I've got my Sena with the speakers, the mic. I've got my iPhone on the handlebar mount, and I've got the camera because the 10C. I've got everything I really want, except for maybe rear view vision.
So rear view vision is something you would want.
I think it'd be good, especially on riding the Ninja. We put those little the convex mirrors on the sides because otherwise you can't see dick off a sport bike looking backwards.
I can't see.
You got to move
anywhere.
you got to move your elbows, right? And I don't have to move my elbows on a lean forward bike.
Yeah. All right. So rear view. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, what is it you would want in a smart helmet?
Yeah, so I've thought about this, and we've interviewed, like you said, enough helmet people to kind of see what's out there and what people are doing.
Yeah,
so,
just earlier this year at AIM Expo, we were talking about those guys.
Yeah, I think I'll just start with any helmet. You want good functionality, so a face shield that goes up and down and works and doesn't break easily, that kind of stuff. Light, I don't want to sacrifice weight, for a lot of this stuff, right? So I know technology, we're catching up. So the big things for me would be hands-free voice command of most things. So in other words, I'd like to be able to talk to my helmet. Say I have AI in my helmet, and I could say, hey helmet, give me directions to the closest donut shop. And on my phone, it just pops up on my phone.
So basically Siri.
Yeah, Siri in my helmet. But then, hey, turn the volume up. Hey, play Grateful Dead. Hey, ask it all. Just have a conversation with my helmet, but have that do my music, do my directions. I could order on Amazon while I'm riding. Hey, can you order me on Amazon some new coffee? Right? I would, because I don't think we're far from that technology. That would be huge for me because I ride every day, most part, and I have the Senna. I've actually stepped up to better headphones that plug in. Mm-hmm. I don't use the phone that much because it's just kind of cumbersome. It's one more thing to do. But if all that was voice activated, that would be great. And
so just audio, not video.
Well, I mean, I think you could add that in there. It's not as important to me personally, but again, if you could have like the Senna camera set up like that integrated, and you could tell it, helmet start videoing, right? Helmet go widescreen, and I think it's totally doable. So yeah, if you wanted, that would be like another nice to have for me, but not critical. Because then you got to edit the fucking footage, and I think
the Insta360 video I like a lot better than the Sena stuff. I mean, even the modern GoPros, the stabilization is so much better. Insta's got that wrapped.
Yeah,
I'm concerned if you add another layer of intelligence on the voice stuff, that you got such a small market sliver of motorcyclists in general. I know we're a huge community globally, but compared to everybody else, they're making stuff like Siri and Hey Google for. We're really small, and you got one more layer, and it's like, okay, is that layer going to talk to the phone okay? I don't know.
Yeah,
the other thing that pisses me off about smart helmets, even what Sena's doing, is that you have to get a certain model of Sena for certain helmets.
Yeah.
Like, I've got the Shui Neotech 2. I really like the helmet, but you're supposed to get the Sena that's made for that one. And I like to be able to change out my helmet and my technology separately. So it's important to me they'd maintain that. And I like the camera on the 10C, but it's bulky and it hangs out there, right?
Yeah, I'd like to have all of that should be integrated. Like we're not even talking Senna. Your helmet has all, because we've seen some of that integration already, but it all should be kind of integrated in there. That's my vision and wants. And the other thing, we were looking at the brake-free tech, the brake-free tech brake light that you put on the back of your helmet has an accelerometer. That could be integrated as well. Now, Liza brought up all that stuff takes up space and sacrifice, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just saying, as technology evolves, those are things I would like to see. So just voice command helmet, and then throw that brake free in there, but everything integrated.
And even the big players, though, they farm out that. I mean, Shui does not do the audio stuff. They partner with Sena.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Anyway,
so
those are my 2 cents.
I'd like a blind spot monitor.
Now, what would that would it be a little light?
Yeah, like a little light on each side,
just kind of
almost like in the rear, in the side mirrors.
I think motorcycles are starting to come on bikes and all that kind of shit's coming online.
I also would I love the ways, hey, accident coming up, traffic. So I'd love sort of that kind of a rerouting information there.
That would be kind of cool now thinking about, because the heads-up stuff, I had a BMW when I was in Maui last time, and it had some heads-up stuff, and it was cool, but then when I got back to my Toyota truck, I realized I didn't like it that much. But if you're on the road and you could get a hazard alert from Google that says, like, fucking traffic is stopped.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do that with just Apple Maps to work. Even.
Yeah, I do that.
I know the way to get there, but I like to see what traffic
But if you could have
today.
that integrated in a heads-up display, and you could program it so you get everything from your speedometer, or you could just do certain little parameters, that would be kind of cool.
Well, and I like my Toyota, if I'm not paying attention, it'll tell me like, hey, you need to...
It'll start beeping at you.
It'll start beeping.
Yeah.
I actually like that.
I do too.
And I would like... there's one more thing. Sorry, it's gone now.
Those BMW glasses.
A speedometer.
In the heads
up? In the heads up, just like in the left side corner, just so I don't have to look down. Just keep an eye on it.
So when the Scully came out, which was one of the first, right? It had the little sight glass that you could have maps, directions, stuff like that, right? And then you get like the one we were interviewing earlier. They had lights on flash, like left and right, to tell you which way to go.
Or if there were cops, it would be blue and red.
So you didn't have to
lights.
you didn't have to look down at your phone. And then right here, I have got. I had so much hope. This is the Quinn from a couple of years ago that I was so excited about. The Quinn boasts safety features unlike others, and what I loved about it is that it's got the impact sensors. Do you remember this one? So it's got impact sensors. So if it takes an impact, it logs it on the app on your phone, and then it can notify people, kind of like your.
I've got the Apple Watch does the same thing. I was on a ride with a club ride, and I had a low speed roll off the bike, and my watch starts beeping. It's like, okay, and you get to one button. I fell, but I'm okay. Yeah,
right. Except this one will log where the hit was and what the G-force was on that hit and how many impacts it was. And if you were motionless afterwards, meaning you are unconscious, this is meant for the medics to have information before you have arrived at the hospital. And there was this whole concept of this will log information. And the other thing I liked about it, all these smart helmets, where do you put all the technology? Because that takes up space and adds weight. So with Quinn, they said, well, we realized everyone has a computer in their pocket. Mm-hmm. All we have to do is have the sensors that will communicate with the phone through Bluetooth, and then the phone is the computer, so they don't have to have all of it. I said, this is great. I'm in. The problem I have with this helmet, and the reason that I never wore it, it's got the integrated communication system that will not work with any other communication system.
See, that's so stupid.
Of course. Everybody wants to own the whole system.
It will only work with your phone. You can make phone calls, you can listen to music, but you cannot communicate with anybody else, which to me was a deal breaker because that's the reason I have comms on. 2, this is the adventure helmet, and it has a visor that did not extend out past the brow of the helmet. It was for looks only and had no function. So on this one, you'll see this is a different color. I actually cut the visor off and took a dirt bike visor and riveted it on so that I could actually have a functioning visor, which we use often here riding into the sun. And third, it was, even though it looks very nice and has this nice construction, every time I put it on, the cheek pads pop off and roll up my face.
Yeah, that shit gets old
and
fast.
I'm like, oh, this gets old.
That's why I went from Schubert back to Shuey, is for comfort. And he's a great name.
The biggest thing was the comms. But what I loved this concept that it would log information for the medics. And I'm sad to see that really never took off. No one else ever picked that up and carried that on. Yeah, and this wasn't successful enough to build that community, that network. So that was your phone, John. You are not muted.
But look, it's on total mute.
You are not muted, John.
Understand.
Jeez. What I want in a helmet, I kind of like the heads up. I want to watch reruns of Friends.
Yes, your brain is on another level.
No.
You want to have a split screen so you could watch Friends in one corner, Glee in the next, and then play Keno in the other corner,
and have a shopping list.
This is the nice thing about the quad lock, is I could attend Teams meetings while I'm riding and look at the spreadsheet that's on my phone. Terrible idea, of course, but
no, you're right. So on my helmets,
you teach that in the schools too, or what? Multitasking on spreadsheets and writing.
Oh, sure, yeah. That's exercise 25 something. I don't know.
On my helmets, I have the 10C. So you have a camera and communications in one, radio, do anything, and then the brake free, which is added. These are all added on things. It would be hard. I think it might be hard to integrate a brake free into the helmet without it really
getting heavy.
I don't know. We saw Mark Rober make a Nerf gun the size of a strand of DNA.
True. So I love the safety features. I love lights. I would like to see smart helmets with some more lights, maybe even like glowing lights.
That'd be kind of cool. So, what are those gun sights? The ACOG gun sights that have the iridium in them, and it's like that little bit of I
would like to see add more visibility. but in a way that is stylish because people don't like visibility because wearing yellow vests isn't cool.
I wonder why we haven't seen that. Some sort of a light
can
display.
go to
some
AliExpress.
Tron looking helmet,
Some Tron
some
shit,
Tron
yeah.
looking
Go to
thing. Where it's like,
Banggood. You
it's
can
probably-
buy these.
it's a ribbon. It's like a
these
really
kits.
thin ribbon of LED,
Of course,
and
if
it
it-
can kind of pulse all around there.
If it's in the helmet, it probably creates the fracture lines for when you hit that pavement on where the helmet blows apart. That would be cool seeing lights, though, man.
And I also have up here. Right, all the most expensive. I think it was up here. I have the Revu helmet. Did you ever try that on?
That's with the mirror tunnel over the
It's
top,
got
right?
it's got a periscope so you can see behind you.
Yeah.
That was maybe that periscope you made as a kid.
Yeah.
Well, and here's
Out
the
of the
funny
milk carton.
thing, though. So, a colleague, instructor friend of mine had one, and the temptation is you got the prism up there,
Yeah.
above your line of sight. You see something behind you, and you tilt your head up, and now you're looking at the ground behind your bike.
Oh.
So you have to just tip your eyes up without tipping the
Well,
whole helmet
here's
up.
the thing with that one. There's a learning curve because you have
Yeah.
a small mirror bar up above your eyes, and you learn to when you first look at it, it's hard to distinguish what you're seeing, and your brain has to be trained to take that little slim image and to expand it in your head. It's weird. But once you get used to it, then you can fill out the picture. Your brain fills out the picture. It's nice, but so I kind of like having the heads up that does let you kind of see behind you. I don't know if it needs to be in the helmet because you can buy mirrors that have a image in the tips of the mirrors showing you what's.
I do those mini convex things.
You know?
It's like $6 for a pair. The track
No,
side
there's
mirrors, I
ones-
slap those in everything I ride.
No, but there's ones that have attached to a camera, so it's actually playing a full image behind you.
Okay, yeah. One more screen in front of you. This is the thing riding with Emma and Kat in
It's
Italy.
in the mirrors. The
Yeah.
screen is in the mirrors. Yeah.
But you got your GPS, you've got your TFT screen that's got all the bike displays, and then I got the camera over here, the Insta on the handlebars. And even though I didn't need it because it's like in a US plan, I got my mobile phone up there. And it's like, oh, what should I watch? Maybe the road.
Yeah.
All right, let me throw out some other ideas of what a smart helmet maybe could do. Maybe it could be having like an accelerometer, so when it senses that you're doing a wheelie, your mom's voice will come in and go like, "Cut it out,
Camera turns on.
cut
Now,
it out."
You need some like automated nose plugs. So when you're riding near Stockton, near the cattle ranches, and just
there
like
you go.
whoop, shoves up in your nose.
Something like to but also like, hey, you're coming too fast into this corner.
Or
Slow,
you could have
know?
like Liza's voice in my ear going, "Your blinkers on, stupid."
Oh my God.
could use it too.
If you could just sense that your blinkers
Okay.
on. That's enough of a
would be
smart helmet.
The corner speed. How about this one? If you got like a heads-up display that shows you the right apex path,
Oh.
that'd be cool. Corner trajectory, outside, inside, outside.
It'd also be great if it could detect like gravel or sand on the road.
Yeah.
Hold on, you're on to something there. It could,
Be a-
without being too distracting, just if you had a visor that it could put a line into the visor. Mm-hmm. But
The track day guys would be all over that.
It's like your waiter. I suggest you take this line right here, entry point and exit, and
Let me ask you this: would you guys trust a helmet that the visor was just a screen, so you actually couldn't see through it, but it had an expanded field?
Like a Star Wars blast shield helmet or something, where you just
Or like
Yeah.
like a submarine.
So last night, Ben and I went to Oakland Motorcycle Club's Christmas cocktail party kind of thing, and we were talking about what he's interested in. Ben actually would like to do a vintage bike rebuild. And he's 20, right? For context, a lot of the guys are.
Hold on.
are
Define vintage to a 20-year-old.
it's all relative, but he's thinking like an R80 GS Airhead.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. I thought you were going to say like a CBR F4i is a vintage bike.
they are.
Yeah.
You know?
But part of the reason we do this is because it's so analog compared to driving a car.
Yeah.
So the whole conversation about the smart helmet, as much as I like my Sena, I like the iPhone on the handlebars, and I'm getting used to the GPS after Italy, but it's also kind of anathema to the whole experience of you see and feel the motor vibrations. You have to lean it with your body. You don't just like turn a steering wheel like you're watching a big TV screen.
Yeah, I feel that way when I go from my Tiger to the KLR, which has nothing on it. but it's kind of fun to have that analog experience again.
I way prefer. I think when it comes to visuals, my own personal preference. I think less is more. Like just riding yesterday, I was on the Nikon, taller windscreen, kind of a little more stuff in front of you, and I hop back on the Suzuki, and it's just nothing. You're looking kind of almost above the windscreen. But what I noticed interesting when I was driving that BMW in Maui, it had the heads up thing. It did a lot of that speed limit, going over the speed limit, rough road, 1,000 feet ahead. And I'm like, at first it was annoying, but then I'm like, that's kind of cool. I got used to it. But when I got back to town, I flew into San Jose, hopped back in the Toyota truck, and when I came over the hill, I found I only glanced down at the speedometer like 2 or 3 times. So a lot of the visual stuff, it's kind of like nice to have, but again, it gets in the way, I think, a lot of the motorcycling experience. So for me, visually, I'm cool with just open road in front of me. Oh, but last thing I'll say on the visual thing, nanotechnology, so when you're riding in the rain, the water stays off your face shield.
Yeah.
If it would just keep your face shield clean in the rain, some nano shit could do that.
Well, fog or just fog.
Or anything. Yeah. Just keep moisture and shit off. Or bugs even, right? Something crazy like that. Force
like
field.
little robots that would go and clean it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Or a force field.
So I will second you on voice commands. And I think they may do it. I've had some that it does pick it up. But because there are times where I just want to go call home. But I don't think the Senna is connected to the phone in that way. I'm not sure, but I think I've had.
I think there's workarounds you could make it work, but it's not.
I've never been able to get it to work that way.
Seamless, yeah.
I haven't even tried the built-in.
It's so frustrating.
But I do. I want to be able to do. I think you're right. If that should not be that much of a stretch.
Well, you could take it to the next level. Remember we were talking about integrated clothing? You could even be like right turn signal, left turn signal.
No.
I'm just throwing
you don't
ideas
need
out
to do
there. But remember we were saying like you could point your finger out and your shit would happen.
Now, if it sensed your eye movement and when you looked at your mirror, no, but...
we're getting off the reservation.
No, but I second you. I want to be able to just give voice commands because even just like when Kat and I were riding through UK and I'm like, oh, we're running late and we're meeting people at Ace Cafe and I'm having to send texts with my gloved hand while riding on the freeway,
It wouldn't be as cool a story if you didn't have to do that. True.
I am pretty good.
I mean, whatever it ends up being, I want it to be like an Apple thing that just works. Elegant, simple, usable.
You have to.
But I will say,
how about infrared? Because, some of the high-end cars will have an FLIR. If you got deer by the side of the road.
Oh, deer or foggy?
I like that idea too.
Yeah. That would really be useful on a bike.
Well, I think, radar alert.
Yeah. Problem is his helmet's going to be $5,000.
It's going to look like something you're going to wear to Mars, right?
No, remember what Quinn already figured out. We're carrying the computer in our pocket. The technology goes into the app on the phone. The helmet just needs to communicate with the phone.
What's the break-free weigh?
What do you mean?
How much? You put it in your hand.
Oh, how much does it weigh? I don't have one on me. Oh, they're ounces. They're very lightweight.
I'm thinking about, you get all these illuminated garments people have now, right? And so you put on a jacket and it's got like a whole frickin' turn signal sleeve. Your whole arm blinks the direction you're going to go or something. And they could do that, like something you slip over your helmet, and that's your illumination. And you could take it off when you don't want it, whatever.
Well, I think so. I mean, what are the handicaps or the reasons that people haven't bought into the helmets? They're $1,000 and up, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I think the first thing is the price. Now, when Quinn came out with this helmet, it was not that much more expensive than regular helmets, which was the other reason I was like, I'm in. I'm just so disappointed that the product
they don't work great.
Well, that's like VC. You got to make the initial offering at a price point people will bite on, and then if you get some market share, then you can bring it up to what it actually costs.
Well, I'd be curious. Remember that company we saw at AIM last year? I can't remember their name. Remember the helmet company though? They had the red and blue light flash from the cops come in. It was pretty cool, and they were just getting off the ground, but they're an Australian, and they already had 500 or 5,000 orders, so they were kind of in that phase. I'm curious where they're at with things, but. The thing I see in a lot of these helmets is they don't work well, and they're somewhat They're almost like proof of concept items. the stuff you could do it works, but there's no market demand. But like even the rear view, whatever the review mirror, that whole thing,
Yeah.
it worked kind of okay, but not great. And then
the Quins they got them on sale now for $299. I mean, that's
Yes,
doable.
But
Is that Snell rated?
I don't think they're Snell rated. I think they're just DOT.
is the music pumping? Like, because that's my one big thing with like the
If you're-
Senna and
I
mean,
shit.
their ECM, I'd be
I
happy
want some
about it.
music that pumps. That's what I want.
So when Google Glasses first came out, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a flop.
The Explorers.
It was, but did you
They're
ever
back
try them?
now. That
I
shit's
never
back
did. I know
now.
my doctor still uses
I
them.
did. I tried it.
Yeah,
And I'm like, this is pretty cool.
they're back out now. You can get
And
Ray-Bans.
I've always been
Oh, that's-
curious,
I think
like,
they're Apple
where
ones
are
right
they?
now.
Yeah.
And that's why I could see having that heads-up display in a helmet. Do we need to have the map in your helmet when I can have it on my phone just below? Maybe not. I don't think people want to have too many visuals cluttered,
I was going to say if
Yeah.
you had decent turn-by-turn
having-
audio.
But isn't it?
which it already does.
Yes, that's all you need.
Isn't it
really.
better to have a heads-up display so your heads are up instead of because that millisecond that you look down could be
That's
your
what
life.
I'm saying. Forget the map on the phone. Just do audio.
Well, I'm
turn
thinking
by
more like
turn.
The way BMW did the GPS, the map on the GPS and the way it was located on that GS I rented in Italy, it worked really well. It wasn't too much of a distracting. It's up there in your line of sight.
I mean, there's a reason they do it for fighter pilots.
That's true. I mean, what about these BMW glasses? I mean, I don't think any of us have got our hands on them. I think
No,
it's
I
still a
haven't.
concept phase. But they're looking at like a stylish pair of eyeglasses that does these things, and it's for
It
motorcyclists.
doesn't help people who wear glasses already, though.
God, I don't know. You could probably get it in script.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say the most common attachments for motorcycles is a camera, is a comm system.
Yep.
So right there, if you can get that integrated into a helmet,
But there's still
right?
an argument about.
Hold on. Those are just the simplest things. And I think that because people will buy a helmet, people will pay $600 for a helmet, right? Then many people put a GoPro on. How much are you spending on a GoPro?
Yeah, but the benefit of that is my GoPro breaks. It doesn't jack my whole helmet up. Or if
I know,
set up
I know, but how much do you pay for the GoPro?
They're what, $300-$500 depending on
And then
model?
how much do you pay on your comm system?
150, right?
You get the Sena these days like $300.
Yeah.
So people are already willing to then pay. If you look at the Senna 10C, right,
Yeah.
and then throw on brake free another $100, so you're looking at $1,000 already. But I wouldn't buy a $1,000 helmet because, as you said, I can't transfer that between helmets.
Right.
So a way to look at it. When I used to teach, I'd show off. I'd have the Aero Stitch, my gloves, my boots, everything like that. And the students are looking at this and it's like, this is thousands of dollars worth of stuff. It's like, yeah, it is. But if what you can afford is a decent helmet, even a pair of work gloves, start out with a denim jacket or leather jacket,
built
some
stuff's
jeans,
not
some
that
boots.
expensive.
That's true. That's true. And built didn't exist when I was doing that kind of stuff. But we work our way up.
Right.
And even for an experienced rider, so, you get something like you drop $1,000 on an EOTech 2, which is a great helmet. I really like mine, but it doesn't have all this stuff in it. If I want to go up, I can spend more to put in that Sena, to put on a camera. But the base price of it for a premium product, that's something I'm reasonable to spend, where I'd probably think a lot harder if I had to spend for the audio system
Right.
and a camera every time I bought that helmet. It's like,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think I think that really the one I like the safety focus. Maybe even airbags.
yeah,
in the helmet,
I'm
right?
seeing more of those with the guys I ride with.
But I do like the idea of having a heads up that lets you see
If you could do a
all
heads up-
around you and has sensors. Because Jim, we were riding yesterday. We had those guys on the Ducatis. Boom, boom. I didn't see them coming up
You
behind
know, we
me.
need to try. It's like you'd see on an old Ferrari Dino, the early Japanese sports cars, the little mirrors out on the hood halfway up. Just have the
She's
little
got
mirrors.
four or
Yeah.
six.
Mounted,
She's got 'em on
mounted
the
right
Nike.
here on
She's
your
already got it
temples.
on a Nikon.
Yeah.
But a lot of the new cars now do have the little lights that light up on
Those
the
are
mirror
nice.
to let you know there's something coming up. I can see that would be good. I think having more spatial awareness.
Yeah. Well, some of the interesting things coming online. I want to check out the new BMW GSA because it's got a lot of bells and whistles. But like the cruise, motorcycles with whatever it is, the interactive cruise control. I think Suzuki's coming out with that. So motorcycles are starting to come out with, I know we're getting away from helmets, but a lot of this funky kind of tech stuff is really starting to cross over into motorcycles.
Well, here's what I would like for the heads up. If you could build it into a face shield that I can buy that was specific to the helmet I have, so that it comes with the shield, not with the helmet itself. And there's some sort of connection into your cell phone like Quinn does, because then you could buy the helmet you want. If the shield is available, it'd fit right on.
Like getting a pin lock.
Exactly.
Retrofit it.
Exactly like that.
That could work.
Yeah, like a heads-up pin lock. I can see that. Yeah.
Yep.
Let me throw out one other feature that might be interesting. Something that my mom, the reason that she wants to keep her Tesla so much, she loves the feature that it's showing you the on the it's not really a camera. It's all the sensors are showing you where all the cars are around you
the top
on the
down
screen.
View?
Yes.
Yeah.
It shows you and then shows you where all the cars are around you. That might be interesting if you just have little like shadows on an image showing you where all the other vehicles around you are, rather than just a reverse camera, something that's showing you like.
And I've never seen anything like that even talked about for a bike, but I really like that idea. I had a Mitsubishi, like a big SUV over in the UK, and they had these terrible tiny little parking spots, but you get the top view in the display. And so I could see exactly where the walls and cars are around because I'm like inches, a gnat's ass from bumping it into something.
But I would say, and I think also it would be really cool. And as an instructor, if you had one that could tell you how to navigate the terrain, tells you the curve, what speed you should be, what gear you should be. If it's a coach.
As long as it's got a sport mode.
That could be kind of cool, right?
It could be kind of cool. It'd be neat to see somebody try it.
Yeah, but somebody goes flying off. They missed their apex. They go flying off, and then who are you going to sue?
It's like my weenie question about liability.
It's not always about going faster. When I was in Pakistan, I had one of the women riding dirt for the first time with me. She found it incredibly helpful. I was telling her, okay, heading up the hill, you should be in this gear. Now you want to wait this, do this. And I just kind of was coaching her how to navigate it more comfortably.
That's the feature. We've got to have your voice narrating each technique.
If
I could have that for my whole life, I probably would be better. Liza would just tell me on a daily basis what to do.
I'd take a handful of pills.
John, you forgot your deodorant, John. Put your deodorant on. You stink.
All right.
But you know what I like about your kind of idea, and I like thinking about these concepts in a way that don't think why they can't work, but think in a way like, how could we kind of make this work? But if you think about the impact AI is starting to have, because I'm super curious about AI, you could have an app, whatever, in your helmet. At the track, I think it would be kind of good. Because I think you could actually develop types of algorithms, or whatever magic hocus pocus
tells you where you
do.
can go faster.
Well, breaking points, apex points. A lot of this. I don't ride track, but I think
love that idea.
That could be an application because you're going lap after lap after lap, and it will learn along with your riding.
Well,
or in the dirt, that would coach you like,
hey, so Josh was on the Italy trip with me. He invited Ben and I up to Thunderhill, and we were at the track there. And a lot of the guys will put the GPS on their bike, and it'll track lap times, acceleration, everything like that. So they can do that, but you probably don't want the data real time when you're on the track because there's kind of a lot to think. At least for me,
I can see the dirt though. If they're like, hey, you're coming up on sand, okay, loosen up on the bars.
Yeah, no, I could totally see it on the track. It would no different than be having a track coach riding right behind you and say, okay, we're coming up to this breaking point. We're going to break. We're going to break 30 meters less this time. Because to me, the AI, we're not there yet, but we're going to be there shortly where it can probably coach you better than a human coach could based on all the parameters that they could put in there. I mean, the AI doctors are already better, which is scary.
Let me throw out one other possibility that a smart helmet could do. What if it's just communicating with your bike and giving you data on your bike? Like, chain tension,
your passenger's body temperature,
oil temp.
It could be like $6 million
tire
man.
wear.
Because all these readings come up when you spool up your bike. Tire pressure, oil, blah blah blah.
That could be
blah,
interesting,
blah. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I mean,
no.
Yeah.
I am coming back to the whole analog thing. I mean, like we talked about with the bike giveaway. Do you want a sport that suffers fools readily and is you got all this different stuff? Or do you want it to be this lifelong learning process where you get better and better the longer you do something until your body just can't do it anymore?
But isn't like...
I I don't know. I think
It might
people
be-
don't like technology or change at first, but it actually makes things better.
I mean, it lowers the
I just
barrier
want to hear my
for
music
entry, though.
good. That's it. I just want to be able to hear my music.
And then
That's
you
all.
see some dude dressed up like Darth Vader playing a bagpipe on a unicycle. It's like, he's not doing that because it's easy. Or the reason people ride vintage bikes, and my buddy Patrick and the Airheads thing, it's because you have to, like holding a classic car. When somebody's driving around in a classic car, it's like, you don't just like throw a lot of money at it and suddenly you're in, at least not for the long haul. If you want to keep that on the road, you have to know how to tinker with it.
Right. That's part of the joy.
Yeah. But there's still the daily driver question. And for a daily driver, we want
Simple.
maybe something that's looking out for us a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what does come out in the future because none of the companies yet have really nailed it.
And you know what? None of it's stuck.
Yeah.
You don't see any of that technology, any of the helmets that we all buy normally, right?
That's what VC money is for. You throw crap at the wall and
See what
maybe
sticks.
you knock it out of the park and maybe it's a dud.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I think we're right on that cusp where it keeps, they keep trying, they keep trying. Nothing's really stuck yet, which is going to be the one that really takes off with it. And what is it that we really need or want?
Well, I'll throw this, a couple of more basic, a quieter helmet. I would love a quieter helmet.
Yeah,
it's hard
absolutely.
to find a
But can't
quiet
you
helmet.
have a noise canceling helmet?
I'm just talking about
Yeah.
where the wind seems to come up under your helmet. You could, yeah, why not? I'd love something like that. Just
You can have
quieter
noise
helmet.
canceling.
There is something, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep going back to there's something about the purity of the experience of you and the machine and what you can see and respond to.
part of why we
Jupiter's
like it.
Travels or,
Yeah.
One Man Caravan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe there's no
again,
future there.
It's
I
back
don't
to
know.
personal preference. I think Scott and I tend to. I fall maybe both of us. Less is more. The less I see, the better. I just really want a quiet helmet that I can hear my music in for
Well-
the most part. But Liza, you get off on, and it's not a bad thing. But you like the information. You like your tire pressure displayed on your your little thing there and stuff. So,
But I think
Personal
Scott,
preference.
to respond to that is you can have it all. In fact, I have multiple helmets that I wear for different bikes.
Yeah.
It's not about the one. I mean, Jim, you have how many helmets do you regularly use?
2.
Dirt and street, right? John, how many do you regularly use?
4.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I've got my Haffy for the scooter. I've got 2 identical helmets that I swap between that I can move all my brake free and everything to them. I'm always looking for a third. So yeah, I mean, it depends on the bike you're riding.
Yeah. At
So
one
you
point,
you can have it all. If you're getting on your old vintage bike, you can have
Got a big enough checkbook, you can have
nothing
everything.
going on. But if you're
Yeah.
getting on your BMW and want to have all the info, or you're commuting and want to be able to have more information about all the cars around you while you're going over the Bay Bridge in a storm, I mean,
could you have a cooling helmet?
it's been tried with
yeah,
the
you can-
Like a
Peltier
cooling
device in the
seat?
crown.
Air conditioner.
And they say you turn it up too high, you get like an ice cream headache.
Oh, I bet it would fuck
Oh.
you up. But it's just kind of interesting
Yeah.
because sometimes you get. I don't know. That's why we're throwing.
I don't remember
shit
the
out.
brand name, but that's been
Little
done.
cooling
And it just,
helmet.
I don't think it really took off. They're not available now. Now you get, you take a wet rag and you wrap around your neck or something. It's like,
That's it.
I like that. Old school analog survival. It doesn't work in the Southeast though. You just like
Bake,
suck it up,
yeah.
be miserable.
That's right.
What about aromatherapy? I want some lavender, some sandalwood.
What about like a little panel that pops up if somebody cuts you off and then it shoots them the finger?
That's
It
been
gives
done
them the
too.
Italian.
Yeah.
Then it starts the Italian Spider-Man all over the place.
Aerostitch at least has
That's
one of those
some
as a
more.
gag.
That's
Yeah. As a gag item at least. I like the aromatherapy thing. I'm waiting for Apple.
If it
to
was
come out with that
two-stroke
feature.
aromatherapy.
oh, because we have a 2-stroke candle out in the garage,
it's
and
subpar.
it's so disappointing because it doesn't smell like 2-stroke.
Oh, you know what I picked up today in my house? I lit is a candle that's called the Lost Boys candle.
What does it smell
Blood
like?
red.
Oh.
Yeah, it smells like degenerate youth.
Smells like
Smells
Teen
like
Spirit.
sticky popcorn inside the movie theater.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we want to hear from people out there. What have we missed? What do you want to have in a helmet? You can have safety features. You can have information coming to you from the outside world. You can have information from your bike. there's a lot of different things it can do. What would you want in a helmet? That's what I want to know.
Better hydration options.
That's
other than
that's
shoving a
something
straw
that's good.
like kind of up there somewhere.
That's the truth.
So it'd also be a bartender. You could just order your
That
drink.
actually that would not be that hard to integrate, like a bite valve from a Camelback or something like that,
That would be
into
great.
the helmet. When I was in the Army, we had that inside the gas masks. You get
really?
these canisters and the whole thing, and there's this little straw, right? And you flip a lever that's on your little pig snout of the mask,
Yep.
and the drinking straw comes forward into your mouth.
If you could have like something where you could attach it to your schlong, and then you could just pee while you're riding.
That's been done too for
And
iron
he
butt
took it too far.
riders.
So
Yeah.
We're still talking about helmets, aren't we?
technically, did Barry Sheen
It's just
invent
which helmet?
did Barry Sheen invent the first smart helmet
How so?
when he
Oh, yeah,
drilled the hole
For the
so
cigarette.
that he could have the cigarette?
Yeah. I would say yes. Barry
Nowadays,
Sheen-
it'd be the bong attachment for your chin bar.
Exactly.
So yeah,
I didn't say that.
Well, we did have
anybody
yeah.
to ever.
Well, who was the pair of dudes at AMA Vintage days with the gladiator helmets with the two beers on either side of it with the straws that came in? There were a couple of dudes that rolled into camp doing that. I can't remember their names. So
That's kind of classic 70s, 80s stuff, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
vintage days.
It's like a Duff Man.
So yeah, let us know what you think. What is it that you want in a helmet? I'm curious because it is interesting. I just feel like we're on the cusp. Like at any time, the helmet that everyone's going to want will be introduced to us, but we haven't seen it
I
yet.
want to hear votes on the hydration system. The more I think about that, the more I really like the idea of when it's mounted in the chin bar, or you can clip onto the chin bar as an add-on. Camelback, please do that.
Okay, that's what Scott wants here.
Integrated pin lock. There's my next one. So you don't have to actually get a pin lock. The face shield just has that anti-fogging shit right in it.
So nothing can get between the two layers.
Yeah, well, just
That'd be helpful.
Yeah, all that.
I took mine out halfway. In the Italy trip, it was raining one day on the Wednesday, and it's like, this is horrible. I took it out and I could see better. I just haven't ever put it back in yet.
All right, all those things. So let us know what you think. Motorcyclesandmisfits at gmail.com. We have time to do a couple emails. I have two because I have Bagels, and John, you have a very long one that you need to paraphrase. So I am going to start with this first one, which is pretty cool. This one is from John Sagudo.
Hey, John.
He says, greetings from Sonoma.
Salutations.
This is from the independent motorcycle shop, Sonoma Moto.
Oh.
He says, I just wanted to wish you all a happy holiday. I am a regular listener, and like you all, I have a deep passion for our power sports lifestyle. Your well-crafted podcast is fun with a well-rounded group of gifted talents. I have had service shops since the 70s.
Oh, wow. Right on.
Ooh.
That's great.
And trained in the European headquarters for many manufacturers. So it is a delight to hear accurate details and lots of fun opinions about our shared passion. I won a new custom Indian Scout.
Wow.
Cool. Fun bike.
What? That wasn't from a podcast. So as we move in, and he says, thanks to the Hope Motorcycle Rally, also known as Hollister Indian Power Sports.
Really?
Wait,
I've stopped in there.
Yeah, we were there a while ago.
I replaced a gas line on my R65 there.
what's the Hope Motorcycle Rally? I've never
I don't
heard of
know.
the
Where have you
rally.
been?
heard
Shop,
about
I
it.
know.
I know. So as we move into warmer weather, I'm destined to visit the Hollister Indian dealership. They're pretty cool. We like going there. And I will be sure to make a point of visiting your recycle garage. Great.
Nice.
Perhaps help out if needed. Yeah, we'll put you to work. Yes. Should you ever visit the wine country or attend any North Bay events, I look forward to meeting you. My shop is often a wide range of bikes, some even older than me, and I've been around the sun a lot. Merry Christmas, you magnificent bastards.
I like that.
you,
He would
John.
he would be a good person to know about our vintage bike giveaway
Yeah.
recommendation.
So the Hope Rally is something that happens up in Lake Tahoe in September, and looks like it's Indian kind of centric.
I like Indian.
Like Native American.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, yeah,
No.
that's no.
Ohlone?
No, Indian motorcycle.
Ohlone? Oh.
Interesting. Well, cool. All right, John, you have one there.
Yeah, I'm going to try to cut some of this up, but I don't know if I can because most of it's important, but we'll try. This is from Brian from Cape Cod.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
It's Cape Cod.
Lobster roll.
Just finished the episode 552 with Matthew Bieberman and his story about working on bikes with his father, both the stories.
Oh, and what did you get today, John?
I got the book.
Yeah, big.
Yep, right
yeah,
here.
I got the book. There it is, right there.
book.
This was our guest last week, so I bought.
Such a
John.
great
I've
episode.
read this. Cool book.
So his dad. So he. The episode brought back memories of his father, Norman, who was a semi-pro drag racing motorcycle, and built in his younger
dad was a
days, and
motorcycle?
he used to build his races. I'm trying to paraphrase, Liza.
okay,
Stop it. Raised his own cars in the late 50s through the 60s. He was good enough to hold national records in his class. He was also into motorcycles. He would buy, fix up, and resell bikes.
Oh, so like, all right, so Big Sid. He was
so
the guy.
another big guy like my
Yeah.
dad and Big
Yeah.
Sid. When I was younger, all I wanted was for my father to teach me everything he knew about cars and bikes, but he was also someone who could be somewhat distant and liked to work on things alone. While he was working in cars, the last thing he wanted was a little kid getting in the way. It reminds me of my dad used to make me hold the flashlight, and that was after about 10 minutes of that, it would just be like torture. I had to get by absorbing enough information as I came from his stories and asking him mechanical questions until he got sick of it. When he was in his 20s, I bought my first bike, which was an 82 KZ305.
I've never seen one of those.
I haven't either. And after a few years of commuting on it, I decided to sell it and get something bigger. My father had just retired at the time and decided to buy the bike for me. Thought he would get back into riding. I thought he and I would finally get a chance together and have something to bond over. Unfortunately, around the same time, he had a heart attack, and while he ultimately recovered, my mother convinced him to sell the bike as she was afraid he was going to have another heart attack while riding. I continued to ride for about another 10 years until I settled down and I had kids of my own, decided to sell my bike. Fast forward to 2010, my mother passed away. My father was trying to find ways to occupy his time. He decided he wanted to start riding again. So in 2011, he bought a used 2010 Bonneville. This got me thinking about riding again. So a few months later, I picked up another bike, a 2000 Buell M2, great bike, thinking he would finally get that chance to ride together. However, by that time, my dad had taken the Bonneville out a few times, and now in his 70s with some health conditions, he just didn't feel as comfortable as he'd hoped on it. So he just parked the bike in a garage and never rode again. I continued riding and working on my bikes, and even bought a 74 CL 360 project bike to restore.
See, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
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 A few
But
months.
they go for money now, too.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. But yes.
So a few months after, eventually realized I could hold my first trip. Okay, so his father passed, and I went to his place and picked up his Bonneville. It had only 2,600 miles on it.
It's like you.
Yeah, it is. But 10 years after sitting on it has not been kind to it. So it had sat with fuel in the tank, which is just like me, and rusted 50 small holes in the top of the tank. It also had some mice get into it where it chewed part of the main wiring harness. Even though it was going to need work and he hardly rode it, I couldn't bring myself to get rid of it. I fixed the wiring and found a slightly dented tank online and have been finished repairing the dents. Once I go through the rest of the bike, I have no doubt I will get on the road in the spring. I think because my father and I were never at the point in our lives where we were able to ride together, I feel the strong need to get the Bonnie back on the road. It feels like it will be at least a small tribute to those things that he had taught me over the years, whether directly or indirectly. Father and son relationships can be difficult. I have 2 boys of my own now, but in the end, I think you just need to take those opportunities and find connections where you can. Sorry for the long-winded email, but like I said, the episode brought back a lot of memories. I've attached a picture of me and my father working in one of his first bikes when I was about 16 years old in the mid-50s. Now that I think of it, I do have one question to throw out to the Misfits. I wish Emma was here for this. The replacement tank I got for the Bonneville is in almost pristine shape on the inside, but while I have it off the bike, should I take the extra step of sealing the tank just to be on the safe side?
No.
Are these tanks prone to rusting? I live in Massachusetts, so the bike will likely sit for 4 or 5 months out of the year, and since it's fuel injected, I won't be able to easily drain the tank. Any thoughts would be appreciated. I love the podcast. If I was in the area, I would have definitely spent some Sundays at the garage with my old Honda. Brian.
Oh, thanks. It's my experience that, in general, the coating techniques aren't holding up to the ethanol gas, so
Yep,
you should
I agree.
avoid that and instead coat it with a film like not WD-40, but they make different products that you can just spray,
Like a spray
in there
oil.
and just for storing that. Then the gas kind of dilutes and it doesn't.
So growing up in Minnesota,
up.
every winter, and this is before stainless steel tanks and we had plastic tanks obviously too, but I would just throw a stable in there,
Yeah.
and they were good for the winter.
Yeah, so avoid I know that they've come out with newer types of coating, but in general, you have to do a lot of research and make sure. But the ethanol gas is just eating up and causing problems.
I put the cream product KREEM in my 77 RD400, and it never really worked great, and it did start to peel a little bit and chip.
Well, thank you for sending that email. I got one more. And this one has a question for us, so pay attention, everyone. Especially you, Scott. I think you can help answer this. This one is from Austin in Pennsylvania. It says, hey, Misfits, looking for some advice on a bike for a young enthusiast. My son is 18 and pushes my wife's Suzuki TU 250X pretty hard and is asking for help and guidance in finding a higher performance bike. He's had the beginner, intermediate, and advanced total control classes. But not too much real-world mileage yet.
Yeah.
The guy is fairly proficient, but hasn't ridden anything other than the TU250 or my Pacific Coast, which is too heavy. Any suggestions for a modestly powerful yet sporty bike that will keep him learning for a few years?
SV650.
I told him no race bikes with clip-ons, just a bike with regular handlebars. He'll have to keep it outside, and our budget is up to maybe $4K. But hoping to find something sporty and reliable, but not necessarily good-looking or a magnet for thievery.
Where is he again?
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Says, any short list of bikes? As a teen, he's prone to shiny stuff and not always thinking with practicality, comfort, cost of ownership, and all that adult
How
stuff.
tall is he?
I don't know. It says,
Okay.
appreciate your service to our community and cheers. So once again, for 4K,
SV650.
versus.
SV650s are a fun
Versus.
bike.
No, I'd say a
No, don't
650
know
Ninja.
the versus.
650
So-
Ninja.
No, the versus is.
No,
I
kids
had
aren't going to like a
great bike.
versus.
readily to mind. So, a lot of guys in our club, and including one of my buddies who joined the same day I did. He got a DRZ for his son, DRZ 400.
Supermoto roads.
yeah.
And that's probably what Ben's going to be riding in the Smokies in the spring, because a friend of mine, how do you get somebody to rent a 20-year-old a motorcycle? And so one of my friends has offered up his DRZ, and I think that could be a nice step up from the 250. Not crazy expensive, not crazy powerful, but could be a good all rounder. Except for the freeway stuff, it depends on what he's using.
650
it for, too.
Ninja. That's what he wants.
I second the versus.
Thank you, Jim.
I second it because it is so. What I like about
They're just
it,
dorky for a 20-year-old guy.
they're
It's
not
a-
as dorky.
not a
as
chick magnet.
Not as dorky.
Ellie
as
loved it.
It says the guy with the KLR.
I'm 55. I'm 55. I doubt I'd ride that thing
No,
when I
I
was
tell
20.
you what,
And the Ninja 650,
it's
would
pretty
totally
upright,
be it,
too.
It's
Hold
pretty
on.
upright. Yes,
it's
it is.
upright.
Finish
It's
your
got a great
sentence.
motor.
Yeah.
It's upright. It's got a great motor. Easy seating position. You can accessorize it and do all
And they're
those things.
undervalued.
And they're way undervalued.
There's a reason for it.
Is that a
650
parallel twin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
SV650 is another great choice. I wouldn't poo-poo that either, but anything in that range.
I'm going to throw back in the KLR 650. And
No.
here's why. Somebody that age may love to try some adventure, some off-road riding.
Yeah, at dual sports, you can never go wrong.
Depends on
KLR,
how tall he
DR, any of those kind of things might open up his world to riding like that, but still keeping him from going too fast.
Well, I was going to
on
say, if you're
the
in Pennsylvania and you do have access to rural land, and and the kid likes to hunt or likes
Yeah.
to fish or
There's
likes
no
to be in
HV
the
out
woods
there.
anyway, throw the dirt bike, throw the dual sport in the mix because they're
Yeah.
a fucking hoot, dude.
And
You can explore
DRZ
and go
again,
camping.
For $1,000 more, you could get a 650 Interceptor from the Royal Enfield.
Actually, I'm gonna double down on this. The answer is 2 bikes,
Of course it is.
and here's why. So Michael came by today on that little C90, right? Those kids love buying these old bikes and just playing with them.
Yeah.
So get him a Versus
Oh, no.
for $3,000 that's reliable, and then get him like an old little dirt bike thing to like wrench on. Learn how to wrench, learn how to fix, how to put new piston rings, whatever, right?
This is kind of what I'm trying to do with that
Get two.
DR350 is make it into a family bike and probably put some lowering links in it. And Ben is looking at what's he going to do after the CB500, which he's had, a year or two now. He's pretty comfortable with it, but he's kind of looking at like a 10RA 700, but he still wants to do an old Airhead as a project bike.
Yeah.
But right now in Northern Virginia, you can get a 2000 Suzuki SV650 for 3,000 miles. Low miles,
There you
great
go.
Sure,
condition.
fun bike.
$3,000.
$3,000, low
Yeah.
miles, great condition.
Yeah.
SV650 is a lot of bike and goes very fast.
No,
But-
it is. Yeah, it's
but
more of a
doesn't
sporty
have the traction control or the ABS brakes. I think on a young person, they really need ABS
That's
brakes.
one thing I really liked about the CB500
Yeah.
for Ben is it's injected and it's got ABS.
How much do they run for?
CB500. Oh, that's the F. That's what Evan has out back. The
But
CB500.
I don't. I mean, it books out at something like
that
3+, but I traded my ST1300, older, higher miles, to another instructor for the CB500F.
That's a good bike.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. Better deal on a Versus. This is a awesome bike with no problems. I don't have the miles. Let me see, but Kawasaki Versus 650, $2,600.
Yeah.
In Maryland.
And then get also a dirt bike.
Yeah, 29,000 miles.
But I'm going to second you, and I don't often go to them, but the CB500F.
Yeah.
That's our neighbor who's in his 20s.
Great bike.
Has one.
Yeah, it's a good bike.
And it's sporty enough.
It'll
it
be
looks
newer.
cool.
Yeah, they're great.
Or the X, but the X goes for more money. But the CB500
Yeah.
is what like the Ninja 500 from 15 years ago was.
Or maybe a Bergman.
Okay, you've taken it too far.
Well,
So a CB500F is a very good bike that I think has the looks, the style that a younger person may want.
the sad thing is, so Ben's is black, and right now we sent his Aero Stitch back to get a new main zipper, so he's using my transit suit, and he looks way better in the transit suit than I do. He's taller and he's a lot thinner. Black
And-
leather's
Says the thin
black
guy.
bike.
Look
You
over
know,
here.
Oh yeah, well, it's all relative, right?
And I always like to just throw in one, like, just another bike just to, you hadn't thought of. I kind of like these BMW F650s for
The Funduro,
newer
the single,
riders.
Yeah,
the
those are
Rotax
great.
motor.
Yes.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're at that point where they're kind of cheap and they're still a basic, simple bike.
And you can fuck with them a little bit. You know, you can do aftermarket stuff. Yeah,
I think
Rotax
you can get a
motors are great.
GS.
I think they're
you can
a great
get
choice.
The BMW F650s.
I've always thought they're dorky looking. I think you're right on everything else, but I think they're dorky looking.
Maybe, but a kid might think it, having a BMW is kind of cool, especially if it's one of the GSs.
Yeah, that's true. It still is a GS.
Yeah, so that's kind of my wild card, throwing it out there. I know we didn't even recommend cruisers or anything like that.
Yeah,
or
the other
or
thing-
a Bonneville.
Well, I was
you
going to
know,
say
Triumph.
that a small Bonneville, you can get those for $3,000-$4,000.
I don't know if kids think that the vintage is cool. Do they?
Yeah, actually. I mean, so my son's 20. His buddy doesn't ride, but is always looking at sport bikes.
I got it.
Okay.
I know the perfect bike,
What's that?
and they'll think it's cool. A Duke 390,
Yes.
KTM 390 Duke.
How much do they go for, though?
I don't know.
If you're looking for something the kid can work on, I don't know how. I mean, I've heard the other KTMs are hard to work on. I don't know if the 390 is different.
That is a great bike. You can track it. I mean, you can do everything.
Multi-purpose.
And I think the kids will think it's cool. So there you go. I hope
400 engine, too.
I hope. Yeah. All right. So
Lots of
those are
Lots out
newer
there.
bikes are more expensive. I think that the Versus gives you a lot of bike for the money. So there you go.
Yeah,
I hope we
Ellie
help.
had the side cases on it too. And I made a great traveler. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of good bikes. I just have concerns about putting younger people on a bike that doesn't have ABS. And that they're so easily can get into trouble on.
But that's how we all learn, though.
And it's also going to be your budget kind
Yeah,
of thing.
but we grew up with lawn darts and riding in the back of pickup trucks.
And we're here.
Yeah, we are, but
We could afford a lower yield because the birth rate was higher back then.
I don't know if the kids these days would have survived our childhoods.
It's a good question.
I don't know if I could survive their childhood with all the cell phones.
The one thing I miss though is riding in the back of a pickup truck.
I did that with a kid when we were in Borrego Springs last time. He's like 7 and had never done that. Had never been out really camping or in the desert for sure. Cool. So we went out to where all the animal sculptures are if you've been out in Anza Borrego. And right as the sun was going down, and he got to get in the back of the truck, and his mom was a little nervous. And we took it super slow. It was like the best day of this kid's life.
That's awesome.
Being in the back of the truck, riding around in the desert. It was
I'll
great.
share with you one of my favorite memories. And this just sums up like surviving the 70s. Me and a bunch of my cousins were all visiting grandparents, and my grandpa would go load up the pickup truck, and we'd go into the woods searching for burl wood and knots because they burn really good. So you look for old trees and cut the knots out stuff. And we were playing basically King of the Mountain in the back of the pickup truck as he's driving through this
trying to
wooded
shove
dirt
people
road
out.
where you're like shoving each other out, and then you have to run and crawl back in and try and shove someone else out. No one cares that there are kids, children throwing each other out of the back of a pickup truck and having to run and catch up. And like
The days when bicycle helmets didn't exist.
Yeah, so that was one of my favorite memories.
Back when I was a kid.
I know.
Well, Liza's going to England.
Yeah, so let's time to wrap this up. It's Christmas. I'm going to England. What are you doing, Scott?
I'm just staying in the Bay Area.
Yeah, getting the family all together.
Yeah, maybe take some rides out and do a little wrenching on the DR while my arm recovers.
Oh, John, what are you doing?
I've got a brand new puppy.
Nice.
And didn't you invite somebody? Did you pick up a straggler for Christmas?
Perhaps. I haven't got a text yet.
That's nice. You
Anybody
threw that
needs somewhere to
invitation
go
out.
for Christmas Eve, let me know.
And does Mrs. Stumpy cook anything?
Mr. Stumpy cooks.
Oh.
Nice.
And Jim, what are you doing?
Caviar and limos, baby.
So you just saw your son, and
Yeah, just saw Seamus out in Maui, man. He's doing great, cutting sushi and doing all that,
he
living the dream,
he looks
man.
all manly with all of his
I know he's
facial hair.
taller than I am now.
Wow.
He's eating a lot of rice, so he's putting some
But he's
weight
still
on
skinny. You
finally.
can still take him, I think.
I don't know, man. He can box. So I don't
Oh, that's
think
right.
I have to sneak up behind him.
So yeah, you're staying in town,
Yeah,
but the
staying
kids
in
won't be
town.
here.
No, Jake, people that know Jake from the podcast, she's deployed again somewhere in the South Pacific, so cheers to her.
Oh, can you share what social media post she just showed up on?
The latest was the Royal Australian Navy Instagram page.
I saw it. It's awesome.
Yeah, they were
That's so
doing,
awesome.
they were doing some cross
In her
training.
flight suit.
They were learning how to cook shrimp or something, apparently. But no, it was cool. The helicopter pictures. They were out on the flight deck and doing their shenanigans, as she says.
Yeah, so coming up to Christmas, I hope everyone has a wonderful time, that they're getting all the things that they wanted. Maybe they're buying stuff on AliExpress. Who knows?
I did get something. I will have your Christmas present. I have it, but I'm not giving it to you till Christmas. So I gotta tell you, show you a story. So those that don't know, Liza gave out some Christmas gifts a little prematurely. Maybe premature is a bad word. But they're the socks that have a big dick on the side of the sock. Like if it was sticking out from under my pants, it would look like a dick sticking down.
Yeah, have you
Well,
seen this?
It's not really
show you
something I'm
later.
going to wear around the house, to be honest with you. My girlfriend's a little too refined for such tomfoolery. So it ended up in a white elephant Christmas gift this morning at the girls' pajama party morning.
No.
And it was tag team that when we were in Italy, my girl got an apron that was like Michelangelo with a big schlong hanging out. You know? I guess not a big one, but one nonetheless.
Wait, this is the one you just said was refined?
Yeah. Well, it's Michelangelo, bro. Come on.
all
This
right,
is,
all right.
this is Da Vinci. And yeah, Liza's showing the picture of the dick on a sock. It was pretty funny.
That's so Liza.
But it went to this like straight up Chinese woman, and it just blew her mind. So I saw. I'll send you the pictures of her holding up the dick socks. So they were a home run with our Chinese nationalist friend.
Excellent.
I tell you, the only thing that confuses me about these is that it's printed on both socks, not just one. I thought
It's like
you
an
get
opossum or something. I guess opossums have a fork tip.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes. So I hope everyone else is going to have a wonderful Christmas.
Yeah,
we won't
man.
be here.
Womp womp.
We're taking it off. I figured no one's going to be listening to podcasts. But we'll be back for our online Zoom party New Year's Eve if you want to join
Gonna
us.
zoom away. You
I'm
remember?
gonna zuma.
Don't
Yeah,
get me
everybody's
started.
doing it.
02134. What was it? 02135.
Right, Zoomsy, OOM, Box 350, Boston, Mass. Oh, 2134.
I know
Send it to Zoom.
02134.
Yeah, I used to work in 02134 in Boston, and when people would ask, "What's your address?" I'm like, 72 Everett Street, 02134.
I lived in the same zip code.
Yeah, I know. We crossed paths. We must have. So send us your emails. We need more. We like the questions. We would like feedback. What bike should we give away? All of that. motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com. You can go to our website, motorcyclesandmisfits.com. I got to start putting all of our trips next year up.
Yep, please.
Catch up with that. And just we'll see you on the other side.
Yeah.
Break on through.
Yeah. So on that note, thank you, everybody.
Thanks to our
this has
Patreon.
biggest thanks to everyone. We've had some recent patrons come on at the highest level, which is really amazing.
Thank you, folks.
Which is why I just want to keep giving back more, which is why I'm like, let's do something bigger than we've done before.
The bike giveaway is cool, and I like the idea of soliciting ideas from listeners on like what would be a really cool thing to do with this whole idea.
Maybe even a vintage BMW. I kind of like that idea
totally.
too.
I'm cool
All
with
about
that.
the
Something
future
we
of the sport.
can pick up and fix up. I don't know. We'll
shizzle.
figure it out. So thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great holiday. Time to get out of here. This is Liza.
Ho, ho, ho.
Scott.
That's amore.
I've got nothing clever to say.
And we are out of here.
Cool.
Cool.